22-year-old right-hander Phil Hughes on the mound for the Yankees tonight. He's made one start. That was a brilliant one to Detroit. He got the victory over the Tigers, working 6 strong innings. 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Opponents hitting just 100 against him. Let's check out our chief pitcher scouting report. He's back in the picture. With that outing in Detroit and with the injury to Chin-Ming Wong, looks like he'll be back for a while if he continues to pitch like that. A cut above. Well, the fact is he had a cutter to his repertoire and has really helped him out. He threw it effectively in Detroit against a very good Tiger ball club. 90, 80, 70. He's got a fastball upwards of mid-90s. He's got a cutter mid-80s to high 80s. And he's got a curveball that's in the 70s. It's a lot of different speeds for hitters to cover.
Let's take a look at the defense behind Phil Hughes, and it's brought to you by our good friends at Home Depot. Damon, Cabrera, and Swisher. Yes, Swisher's back in the lineup, and he's in right field. And the infield is Baroa, Jeter, Cano, Teixeira, and Molina behind the plate. Phil Hughes is on the mound. Let's take a look at the game time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. I think that shot says it all. 53 degrees, 87% humidity, not much wind, periods of showers, and it seems as if we're in one of those periods right now. So when the first pitch is thrown, it will be a delay of about 2 hours and 20 minutes. So we will play this one into the late hours of the night, maybe the early hours of the morning. Jacoby Ellsbury digs in. We want to keep him off base. He has 13 stolen bases. Phil Hughes is ready. Let's finally do it here in the Bronx. And the pitch is outside, and we are underway. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes. And there's a strike. David, is there anything that works against pitchers that had their body clock set for 7 and they're throwing their first pitch at 9:20 something?
Well, you can get wound up a little tight waiting. You know, in the clubhouse, you get geared up to start at 7 o'clock and just about managing your time, you know, for this 2-hour rain delay.
Foul away.
It's almost like being pushed back to West Coast time.
Jerry Meals is the home plate umpire. Mike DeMuro is at first. Jimmy Hoy is the second base ump, and Dale Scott, the veteran crew chief, is at third. Shattered bat popped up. Cano is there. And there's one away.
Well, you know, on a cold night, hitters don't like to be jammed, and that's the sort of pitch that breaks your bat, hurts your hands, and it's not a good way to start a ball game off. And for Hughes, he came in with a fastball in the mid-90s. Everything had been outside until this pitch, and he got in on the hands of Ellsbury, and that's a good sign right away because he also has that cutter to get in on the hands of the left-handed hitters.
Here is the pesky and dangerous Dustin Pedroia. 6 for his last 12, hitting .387 since April 17th. Shows you how slow a start he got off to since he's only at .307 overall.
Like Michael said, he's been hot lately. 5 games with 3 hits or more lately. He's turning it up a notch. And David, for a guy who swings so hard, he still makes a lot of contact. He doesn't miss very often.
He just has tremendous hand-eye coordination.
There's the strike.
Phil Hughes hasn't really, Michael. He's not showing any ill effect from the long layoff tonight. You know, sitting in that clubhouse, you can work yourself into a tizzy. He's coming out throwing 95 miles an hour. His velocity's up from his last start already.
And the 22-year-old right-hander deals the 1-1. There's that breaking ball away. 2-1. We talked about this on the pregame show about 2.5 hours ago, that the difference in Hughes this year compared to last year is a cutter that he trusts and that works effectively. The 2-1. The big knock against him in the past. Fastball, yes, straight, not good. And he had a hard time commanding it up in the zone, but the cutter gives him a different look and gives the batter something different to look for. And the 3-1. And Pedroia walks. Tried to stay away, and Pedroia wouldn't bite.
You can almost see in that sequence there, Singy, where, you know, still Hughes just kind of shook off Molina twice to get to this 3-1 cutter. This is Hughes' cutter. As you can see, kind of overthrows it. Interesting pitch selection against Pedroia on a 3-1 count.
Look at the numbers, very un-Ortiz-like. Has not had a home run this year, and dating back to last year, 128 at-bats. Now, you talk to Red Sox people, and none of them want to be quoted on this, but the general feeling is that Ortiz has lost bat speed. This is not a slump, that he's going to come down just a bit. Dave Magnan, the hitting coach, he's not going to be that same force, but Terry Francona has a fierce loyalty to his players and simply will not drop him out of the number 3 hole.
He's won for his last 16.
And remember, he had that wrist problem last year, and that might slow him down as well.
Yeah, I was thinking about that very same thing prior to the game, that he had wrist surgery last year. And wrist, hand area, anytime you have a problem in that area as a hitter and somebody relies on bat speed to power the ball out of the ballpark, who knows? Maybe it hasn't healed back to 100%.
And that's a drop in numbers for David Ortiz. Look at that 06 season, 54 home runs.
05 wasn't bad either.
You can see the Yankee strategy. I mean, most teams around the league have pitched Ortiz like this, but 3 straight pitches in, cutters and fastballs. And anytime, as you said, Singy, if you think a guy's wrist maybe not quite 100%, then you're going to test him inside all night long until he proves he can get to that ball.
Yeah, that's right. He's going to have to prove it not only here but to the rest of the league.
There's a buzz in the crowd tonight that we have not heard over the first couple of games at Yankee Stadium, and obviously this crowd's fired up. They sat and did nothing for about 3 hours. They've been in this ballpark, and most of them have stayed, amazingly enough. That's a line drive, base hit down the right field line. It goes into the corner. Digging it out of the corner is Swisher, and they're going to hold Pedroia at third as Ortiz picks up a double. Didn't look too bad there.
Didn't look too bad there, but I think this pitch was a little out over the plate as opposed to being in.
You can kind of see Molina setting up in from pitch 1. There's a fastball down and in. There's a little cutter. He pulls foul. Another fastball inside with a little cut to it. And this is another cutter. It just stays down and in. You know, the problem with throwing a cutter when you're coming into lefties is you're going to lose a little velocity. Phil Hughes came out throwing 95 with his fastball. That cutter just kind of stayed down and in, and Ortiz could just drop the head on it.
All it takes is a miss by a couple of inches, and that one wasn't quite as far in as the previous pitches. And when you get it out over the plate.
Look at those numbers. Sick. 407. He's on base more than half the time. As for Ortiz, that double, his first extra base hit in 6 games. J.D. Drew's on deck. He's a left-hander, but Youkilis is so good. Do you think about walking him, David, or at least pitching around him?
Well, you certainly, you know, he jumped ahead with a curveball there. So now that you're 0-1, you can go to work, but you certainly want to make quality strikes and don't give in.
The 0-1. 0-2.
He's just throwing with some conviction. You see Molina set up inside. This is a fastball, and it gets a lot of the plate. He's got a little righty action up in the zone. Gets it right by him.
Good power fastball. To get it by a good fastball hitter.
The 0-2. Tried to sneak one by upstairs. Fouled the bat.
Well, it seems to me, Michael, that Youkilis has gotten better every year at handling the inner half of the plate. Really starting to drive that ball. He's learned how to cut that inside fastball off and pull it, especially at Fenway Park, and keep it fair. It's a dangerous hitter inside right now.
And that one gets past Molina. Here comes Pedroia. He scores. Moving to third is Ortiz. And the Red Sox up 1-0.
This is just kind of a classic case of Molina setting outside and Hughes kind of hanging on to it, but that's a pitch that Molina's got to have, and I'm sure he'll say that after the game. I'm not sure how it's scored, but there's no dirt right off the. Sometimes Molina gets caught trying to frame those pitches and catch them in the web. I'm sure he'll say after the game he should have had it.
It scored a wild pitch, but I agree. This was should have been a pass ball. Ball was not in the dirt. He went to the backhand. It might be show you how hard it uses actually getting it up there.
And he strikes out Youkilis with the infield in. So the Yankees brought the infield in with just a runner at third.
You know, one reason why Joe Girardi might have brought the infield in because of the weather conditions tonight. You don't want to give up too many runs early in the ball game. Take a look at the sequence of pitches. Started him out with a nice curveball, dropped it over the inside corner. Fastball right on by. Thrown pretty hard tonight. He almost got that one by him. There's that wild pitch. And then once again, fastball right down the middle that Youkilis can't catch up to.
Here's J.D. Drew. And there's a strike, 1-0. Drew 5 for his last 11. Red Sox just lost 3 out of 4 to Tampa Bay. So they're licking their wounds just a little bit. Boy, Hughes has a good breaking ball. Count 1-1.
See, when you can drop a breaking ball in there on a fastball count, not only does it shake a hitter up right there, but it confuses him for the rest of the at-bat. You've already proven to him you can drop a curveball in there anytime you want, at least that particular pitch, and it confuses the at-bat.
And mixing it in with a good fastball. His fastball is live tonight, 1 and 2.
You see Molina setting up away. Right there, outer third, plenty of plate, knee high.
So the count 1 and 2. Ortiz at third. Hughes deals. Now 2 and 2. And the pitch. Just missed.
This one didn't miss by much. I don't know if he called it low. To me, it looked like it had the corner. Ball hit the corner, moving away. Jerry Mills didn't give it to him. Oh.
Missed inside. .25 pitches for you so far as Joe Girardi looks on quizzically.
It's one of the things you try to get a read on the home plate umpire, and obviously every umpire's got his own interpretation of the zone, but you can tell right now Jerry Mills, as you see Molina working him right there, that last curveball certainly was very close. He's definitely more of a hitter's umpire, the early read.
I thought the fastball before that could have been called.
He's eyeballing a lot of close pitches, and not that they were strikes, but he's definitely more of a hitter's umpire.
And the pitch is high to Jason Bay. Yankee fans remember Jason Bay from the series at Fenway Park. Yankees 1 out away from taking the first game of that 3-game set, and Bay connected for a shocking 2-run home run against Mariano Rivera. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th, and then Youkilis won it against Damaso Marte. And a strike. This is the Red Sox first time seeing the new Yankee Stadium. In the old Yankee Stadium, they didn't have much success over the years. 285 wins against 484 losses. The 1-1 popped up. Teixeira in foul territory, and that'll do it in first. But the Red Sox score 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. It's the Red Sox 1 and the Yankees coming to bat. Yankees' turn. Now let's take a look at the Yankees starting lineup presented by BMW. The captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter leads off. Batting second, playing left, Johnny Damon. Mark Teixeira slumping. He's the first baseman, and he'll hit third. Cleaning up back in the lineup, the right fielder, Nick Swisher. Robinson Cano, the second baseman, will bat fifth, batting sixth, and DHing tonight. Jorge Posada, who's been red hot of late. Melky Cabrera as well has been red hot. He's a center fielder. He'll bat seventh. Batting eighth and catching, Jose Molina. And Angel Baroa, the third baseman, bats ninth.
25-year-old left-hander John Lester on the mound. 2-0 in his career against the Yankees. He's made 5 starts this far this year. Off to a somewhat of a slow start. 1-2 with a 5.40 ERA. An opponent's hitting a very high 305 against a tough left-hander. He's our G pitcher scouting report 280. With 2008, he was the best in Beantown. Voted the top pitcher on the Red Sox last year. Nolan Ryan and John Lester, the only 2 pitchers ever to no-hit the Kansas City Royals. And the last one was Pedro, 1999. Well, Pedro doesn't need any introduction, but in 1999, Pedro was pitcher of the month 4 times in the American League. John Lester was twice last year pitcher of the month in the American League.
Count 1-1 on Jeter. Derek in a little bit of a slump, 3 for his last 19. He has 240 career hits against the Red Sox, 3 fewer than Mickey Mantle's total. 243 is the record for a Yankee hitter against the Red Sox. The 1-1. Popped up, right field. Going to be a tough play. If it's a fair ball, it's trouble. Foul ball. Let's take a look at the Red Sox defense, brought to you by Home Depot. In the outfield, you've got Bay, Ellsbury, and Drew. That's left to right. In the infield, Lowell, Green, Pedroia, and Euclid, who won the Gold Glove in 07. He's at first. Baratek behind the plate, and Lester is on the mound. And for those keeping score at home, that wild pitch in the first inning has been changed to a pass ball. And I believe that makes that run unearned.
Indeed it does. And I'm sure Molina would agree with that after the game. So Kenny and I both agree that didn't hit the dirt. Molina gets caught up trying to frame those pitches and catch them in the web. Sometimes those will scoot right on by.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Off-speed pitch diving down and in on Jeter from the lefty Lester.
This is what Lester can do. You see Baratek setting up in. Late darting slider type action, cutter. Call it whatever you want, but that's like almost a tilt to it, downward action and a little side to side. A really good finish pitch.
It looked like a frisbee coming up there, didn't it? A lot of break on that.
Here's Johnny Damon. And the pitch is high.
We saw Ron Guidry make a living with those kind of pitches. That's saying, I'm sure he threw you a few of those back leg sliders.
Left-handed batters have 1 hit in their last 22 at-bats against Lester. And that hit was from Johnny Damon, a single. But the Yankees, their lefties hit very well against lefties. As a team, they hit .350 against left-handed pitching. But this is a special left-hander on the mound.
Yeah, .350 is the best in the major leagues, the Yankees against left-handed pitching.
The 2-1. Strike paints the outside corner, count 2-2.
Well, the thing about Lester that bodes well for the future is that delivery. It's so smooth. He's obviously got a great build on the mound, tall, strong, big back. But nice, smooth delivery, and the ball jumps out of his hand. Got a real strong front side, kind of throws that glove at the hitter, gives him a little deception, and real smooth delivery. It's effortless. He jumps it up there in the low to mid 90s and without much effort. It just looks like the ball just comes out of his hand with less effort.
Swing and a miss, blew right by Damon. 2 strikeouts, 2 batters for Lester.
Yeah, 2 strikeouts, 1 on a sweeping breaking ball and 1 on a powered fastball to Johnny Damon. Nothing fancy about that last pitch. Is here it is. See if you can hit it. And here's the delivery that David Cohn's talking about. Now, David can. you know, a pitcher might come to the pro ball and his mechanics might be all different, might be a little herky-jerky. Can they smooth out a pitcher and make him throw the ball any different? Or
very difficult to change your mechanics totally. I mean, John Lester's a natural. I mean, he's just had that delivery since he came up, and you can see he just kind of glides and then boom, and explodes right out of his hand.
This is something that scouts are looking for too.
Look at that long arm and that strong front side. You can see just very smooth arm action, and the ball just really jumps. And he's got that long arm action. Ooh. See him really reach back, as you see Teixeira had another really good swing on a fastball out over the plate.
Yeah, I know Teixeira comes in tonight hitting 182 and 19 walks. That's good. I mean, he still recognizes what the strike zone is. His problem is swinging the pitches and fouling them back like that last one. When he's going good, which will come, that ball's going for a ride somewhere.
3 for his last 29. There's a strike. 0 for his last 13 with runners on base. So it's been a struggle for Teixeira. Historically, a weaker hitter in the month of April, but it's May already. He wants to start picking it up. It's May 4th. The 1-2. Strike 3. What an impressive first inning for John Lester. He strikes out the side as the Yankees go down in order 1-2-3. Derek Jeter started it, swing and a miss on a slider. Then Johnny Damon blew it right by him, swing and a miss, and then Mark Teixeira took it right down the middle after 1-0 Sox. Mike Lowell will lead it off against Phil Hughes as we go to the second inning. It's 1-0 Red Sox. That one's drilled to left field. Going back, Damon looking up. See ya! A long home run. Mike Lowell, 2-0 Red Sox.
Lowell has been one of the hotter hitters in the league. His 6th home run of the year, but he's now hit in 16 of his last 18 games. And he's driven in 21 runs in his last 18 games. Now, this one's not over yet. He got off the bus looking for this pitch. It was up, out over the plate. And he can take his time going around the bases, and he knew it. That's out of anywhere.
Here's Jason Varitek. And a strike by Hughes.
You know, Lowell's one of the only guys in that Red Sox lineup that is a dead red first pitch fastball hitter. You know, they're notorious for grinding out pitches and really getting pitch counts up on opposing starters to get them out of the game. But Lowell has always been a dead red first pitch fastball hitter. He was obviously ready for that one. He's always been quick inside. He's always had a quick short stroke. Fenway Park kind of revived his career. Well, he didn't need Fenway Park for this one.
No, that might have been a double at Fenway Park.
That might have been high enough. Remember when it landed into the seats, it was losing altitude. Fenway Park, the wall's a lot closer. What's that street behind Fenway Park?
Lansdowne.
Yeah.
1-2. Ball back.
Yeah, some of the streets beyond the older ballparks like Lansdowne, as Michael said, or Sheffield and Wrigley Field in Chicago, those streets become famous because of all the balls that landed out there, home runs. Utah Street in Baltimore, Camden Yards.
The St. John Street at Conway Park singing.
Yeah,
My dad put the floodlight on the back of the house.
I can remember as a youngster, Bedford Avenue at Evans Field in Brooklyn. Duke Snyder used to hit him out there. Yogi in the World Series. Mickey Mantle.
0-1-2. Off the foot of Varitek.
Those streets became, almost household names.
Especially for the houses that were on it.
Well, it's, you think back Wrigley. People sitting up on the roofs of the apartment buildings across the street from Wrigley Field. Oh, Waveland Avenue at Wrigley. That's the other street.
Line right at Cano. Almost ate him up, but he made the play. One away. Let's look at the American Airlines upcoming schedule. One more game against the Red Sox. That's tomorrow night at Yankee Stadium, a 7 o'clock start on Yes. And Tampa Bay comes to town Wednesday and Thursday, both 7 o'clock starts. Both of them on Yes, and both of them in glorious HD. Then the Yankees hit the road, 3 against the Orioles, a day off in Toronto, and then 3 against the Blue Jays. There's a strike. Some people are somewhat dubious about the Blue Jays' big start because they have not played the Yankees, the Red Sox, nor have they played the Rays. They have played the Orioles, and the Orioles have not been playing very good baseball. So that'll be a real litmus test for the Jays.
Yeah, they just swept the Orioles before the Orioles went down to play the Rays tonight. But, I mean, eventually they're going to have to play the teams in their own division. I believe they only play one series against the Yankees before July. And then the second half, the Yankees are going to see them a lot.
The 0-1. High fly ball, deep left center, giving chase. Melky Cabrera on the run, on the track. He makes the play. 2 away. So Nick Green gave it a ride, but it was run down by Melky Cabrera.
Well, Nick Green came into the game as a .245 career hitter, but he's really taken advantage of the situation, obviously, with the injuries at shortstop for the Sox, and he just misses this. Obviously, the deepest part of the park is Melky Cabrera had to run a long way, and you see Youkilis's reaction. Boy, off the bat, that looked like it had a chance.
Yeah, heavy air tonight, a lot of moisture in the air. The ball's not traveling except for Mike Lowell's.
Here's Jacoby Ellsbury, popped to second base in the first. 1-0.
Melky ran a long way, and the ball just dies on the warning track.
The old place they called it Death Valley out there. Count 2-0 to Ellsbury.
You think back to Bernie Williams going back there in the Death Valley making those catches? He saved you a few times, Coney?
Definitely. Bernie could run him down. Once Bernie got going, once he got a jump on it, boy, if there was a ball that had some hang time on it, Bernie could run like a gazelle and get there and run him down with the best of them.
Well, Manny Ramirez hit a drive to Death Valley, and Melky ran it down and made one of the great catches that you'll ever see. An outstanding play, the celebration by Damon, and that was a big moment at the old ballpark in a game between these two teams. So the count 3-1 on Ellsbury. Again, you want to keep him off base. He's such a threat to run. Driven down the left field line, but it slices foul into the seats.
Yeah, Ellsbury was in the running for the league lead in stolen bases until Carl Crawford got going yesterday against the Red Sox. He stole 6 bases. And at the end of the day, he said, well, that tied the record. He said, I wish I'd known the record was 6. Could have stolen 1 more. He was running at will, and Will was on the next base.
45th pitch upcoming for Phil Hughes. A lot of pitches here in the second inning. The 3-2. And there are going to be more pitches and a lot of throws over to first now as Ellsbury walks with 2 outs. The 2 outs in this inning have both been scalding hits. Hot shot off the bat of Varitek to Cano, and then Nick Green punished one into left center, but it died out in Death Valley. And Ellsbury walks. A little bit of a different Phil Hughes than the one that we saw in Detroit. There's Dustin Pedroia. He walked and scored the first run in the first inning.
He's throwing pretty well, speaking of Hughes, but he's not quite as sharp with his control as he was in Detroit. At least at this point. Your control can come and go during the course of a game.
Tell you one thing, he's not afraid to shake off Molina back there. You know, we saw that in the first inning where Phil Hughes has got some confidence. Obviously coming off of that great debut start in Detroit, 6 shutout innings, but you can see he and Molina kind of Molina getting a little frustrated, and Hughes kind of staring in, shaking him off quite a bit tonight so far.
Now you like a guy doing that, but is it the right thing to do? I mean, Molina is an outstanding defensive catcher. He's 22 years old.
Well, you know, it's just about getting in sync. You know, and you like as a starting pitcher to be able to, as you see Molina shaking his head, that's on purpose. He wants Phil Hughes. It's kind of a deke to the hitter to shake his head to sort of fake out the hitter a little bit.
Quickly 0-2 on Pedroia.
But to answer your question, Michael, you just like to see the pitcher and the catcher in sync together. You like to, if there's a shake-off or a stare down by the pitcher to get to another sign, you like the catcher to get to it quickly. You don't want it to disrupt your rhythm. But you would like to see Phil Hughes kind of follow Molina's lead. He knows this Red Sox lineup. Even though he hasn't caught Hughes a lot, he definitely has a lot of experience and knows what he's doing back there.
The 0-2 upstairs.
See, Pedroia came into this game hitting .358 against right-handed pitchers this year. 24 hits and 67 at-bats.
Kind of tells me he likes the ball out over the plate. The breaking balls don't bother him. Good solid hitter.
Driven out to right field. Nick Swisher puts it away for the final out of the second. But the Red Sox get a run on 1 hit and 1 man left on base. The 1 hit, the first pitch of the inning. Mike Blow redirected it into the seats in left field at the end of 1.5. It's 2-0 Sox. by Mercedes, and in 1981, Ron Davis strikes out the last 8 batters that he faces, tying Nolan Ryan's American League record for consecutive strikeouts. Your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers on the web at searchmercedes.com. His son, Ike, a first-round draft pick for the Mets, and he's in their minor league farm system. 2-0.
Pitcher?
No.
No.
He's a hitter.
Dan had a good fastball.
Nick Swisher, who's at the plate, his dad played in the major league. Steve Swisher, catcher. All of his home runs have been on the road, away from the Bronx. Weak hat there. Nick was plunked on the, just above the right elbow on Friday. And Jared Weaver. He missed Saturday's game and was not in the lineup yesterday's game.
Right on the point of the elbow.
Swisher 20 for 54. That's 370 on the road with all 7 home runs. At home, he doesn't like home cooking so far. 4 for 23. That's 174. Every time you look up, Nick Swisher's 3-2.
Good sign of patience. Recognizing balls and strikes. You can see the breakdown home and away. That'll even out as the season goes along. Riding a 4-game hitting streak at this point.
3-2. Rip foul. Along with David Cohn and Ken Singleton, I'm Michael Kay. You're watching Yankees baseball here on Yes. Just underway. No, this is not a replay of the game. Start of the game delayed about 2 hours and 20 minutes. We're in the bottom of the second inning, 2-0 Red Sox. First game of a 2-game set between these two teams. 3-2. And Nick Swisher works a walk. Swisher has been in 27 3-2 counts this year, so he makes you work.
This is the Yankees' 25th game of the year, so it's more than 1 per ball game.
And here's Robinson Cano. Has hit safely in 22 of 24 games this year. Saturday had a 16-game hitting streak snap. Numbers outstanding. And Lester deals. And a push bunt attempt as the third baseman Lowell was playing back.
No, I was looking at through the league stats today, and only 2 hitters in the league have more hits than Robinson Cano, as he was trying for yet another one. And if he had gotten that down, he could have walked to first base. Lowell was that deep, as Michael said. Aaron Hill of the Blue Jays has 43 hits. He's off to a great start. And Victor Martinez of the Cleveland Indians has 1 more hit than Robinson Cano. He has 38 hits.
Robinson Cano coming into this game, you know, he's always been able to hit righties or lefties, but you're looking at obviously a tough lefty tonight, John Lester. And coming into the game, Robinson Cano's hitting .407 off of lefties, 11 for 27.
Grounded up the middle. Oh, a great grab by Green. And they almost turned 2. Euclid couldn't come up with it. Cano probably would have beaten it out, but Green took away what looked to be a certain base hit from Cano.
Couple of things working now. I know the tarp has been on the field, but it's still damp under there, and that has a tendency to slow the ball down. Not to take anything away from Green's effort. It was a good one. He dove right behind the bag and got the force at second base. Here's the IOTV super shot. Nick Green robbing Cano of yet another hit and flips to Pedroia for the force, who attempted the double play.
He's the third shortstop for the Red Sox. Julio Lugo started the season hurt. Jed Lowry was a starter. He's hurt. Now Lugo's back, but Green's been playing short. Posada connects on one and drives it to left center. It's a base hit. Cano is going to go to third. Posada stays at first. That's the Yankees' first hit. They have runners on the corners. One man out.
You see Posada just cuts it off. Varitek wants that ball in, and that ball's middle in at best, probably more towards the middle than the inside corner. Posada's got that short, quick stroke. Watch him just beat him to the punch. You have a line drive knock right in the gap. Now you got first and third.
Yeah, Jorge's been swinging a hot left bat lately. He's the type of guy right now you'd want up with runners in scoring position, but he puts a runner in scoring position with this hit. Driven in 6 runs in his last 2 games. It's an example of what the Yankees missed most of last season.
Here's Melky Cabrera. He has a 7-game hitting streak, but he's hit safely in his last 12 starts, and he is now the starting center fielder. Jackknifes out of the way. Now against Lester, Melky is 6 for 10 lifetime.
Once again, little cutter, slider down and in. You know what, Singy, this is a good way to make a hitter move his feet. You know, throw it right at it.
Yeah, it's a good way to tick a hitter off too. Now against some hitters that might work, but against the good hitters, you can't really intimidate them. They get even tougher. At least your mindset should be even tougher, to get more determined to drive in a run or do something, do some damage to the pitcher. Just the whole thing is not to be over aggressive, start swinging at pitches out of the strike zone.
Well, as a pitcher, when I came up against a hot hitter, and Melky certainly is very hot right now, you do want to make him move a little bit. You know, it's not always about bow ties or up and in or pushing guys off around their head. It's more about just making them move around in the box, making them uncomfortable.
Nice block by Varitek.
This is what Varitek does so well. You see him set up in and immediately goes down, smothers that pitch. His glove's on the ground. That ball's not getting through his legs. But Varitek does all the little things really very well. Calls a great game, blocks pitches in the dirt.
For a while there, it looked like the Red Sox were not thinking about bringing him back, which would have been to the detriment of their own ball club.
He was initially looking for a contract somewhat similar to Posada's, a 4-year deal, and well, Posada was coming off a great year when he signed that, and Varitek had a really bad offensive season. He ended up settling for a 1-year deal. The 2-2, strike 3. Cabrera down looking. 4th strikeout for Lester.
Well, this is one of those things, after all those sliders down and in, making his feet move, then you just paint that inside corner and lock up Melky. It's well set up pitch. Melky's probably reading that slider down and in, and that's straight, stays on the corner. Melky knows it, head down, back to the bench.
Here's Jose Molina. Yankees down 2-0, bottom of the 2nd inning. Yankees and the Sox. Breaking ball, strike. Molina 4 for 8 lifetime against Lester.
Another example of Varitek and Lester working well together. You know, Molina's kind of a first pitch fastball hitter. You got a run scoring situation, 1st and 3rd. Drop that first pitch hook on just to keep him honest and get a strike.
Count 0-2. In 12 games since April 19th, you see what Molina's done. And if you use Molina like this, he will hit better than if you use him every day. And we saw that last year when he took over for Posada. He ended up being a 200 hitter. He wears down, you find the flaws, but if you spot him, he can be an effective hitter.
Those 4 runs batted in came on one swing. That was the grand slam in Detroit. Capped off a 10-run inning. Nice outburst for the Yankees that blew a game open. In fact, it was a game that Hughes pitched. What do you think, Michael? Those guys going to get along?
How could they be friends? I just don't get it. Runner goes, the 0-2. Strike 3, Molina down looking. 5 strikeouts for Lester as he gets out of a first and third one-out jam by striking out Cabrera, then dropping in a breaking ball right over the plate and strike out Molina. Yankees strand 2, they trail by 2. HC channels and the fastest internet. This is Fios. This is Big. Josh Beckett, who has struggled so far this year with a 7.22 ERA, goes up against Jabba Chamberlain, 1-0, 3.13. Our coverage will start at 6 with the batting practice show. 6:30 is the pregame, and weather permitting, 7:07 will be first pitch. Here is David Ortiz. The shift is on. 3 infielders on the right side. And the Yankees do what they've been doing with the shift this year. The only infielder on the left side is Derek Jeter. So they move the third baseman Baroa over. Breaking ball strike. The Modell scoreboard has the Red Sox leading 2-0 in the third. And Modell's is the official sporting goods retailer of the Yankees. And the 1-1.
Well, they're burying everything inside, but even pitching Ortiz away here at Yankee Stadium is not such a bad thing. He gets a hold of one, he might hit a high fly ball left center or center field, which is the big part of the ballpark. But right now the Yankees are playing him to pull and pitching him in.
The 2-1. Rip foul.
But it definitely, you're right, Singy. You've got him sped up. As you can see, that last cutter was in off the plate. And Ortiz is out in front and yanks it foul. And that's what you try to do as a pitcher. You try to speed up his bat, Now you do have him set up for away or off speed.
Count 3-2. The way that people that have been watching the Red Sox describe Ortiz, he's between everything. If he's looking for fastball, he gets a breaking ball. If he speeds up his bat, well, then he definitely gets a breaking ball. He's just off par. The 3-2. Tried an off-speed pitch but missed outside, so Ortiz walks.
So I talked about the stuff is there tonight for Phil Hughes, but that's his 4th walk. So he's a little bit off with his control tonight. And you notice most of these pitches are in, and he can't quite get the corner. It's inside for a ball. Breaking ball drops in neatly for a strike. Inside again. Ball 2. That might have been a ball, but he pulled it foul. Inside again. He's getting it in there. Then he tried the backdoor breaking ball and just had it spun out of his hand for ball 4. Just not quite as sharp as he was in Detroit.
Well, the difference for most right-handed pitchers, especially Phil Hughes, kind of a power guy, for right-handed pitchers against left-handed batters is not only do you have to pitch inside, but you have to prove you can pitch inside for strikes. There's a big difference. It's easy to throw the ball inside off the plate. It's harder to nail that inside corner consistently. Now, that's really the next level. You know, we saw Greg Maddux make a living out of the Hall of Famer, former Brave, make a living out of painting that inside corner with 2 strikes on left-handed batters, kind of that swing back pitch. Josh Beckett does it very well. Pitches inside to lefties for strikes and in off the plate when he needs to.
He is really pitching himself into trouble right now. 3-0, runner on first base, which he got there on a walk. Phil has 4 walks right now. 3rd time in his career he's walked 4 more in a start. And the 3-0. To a breaking ball on 3-0.
He was blowing it by Euclid the first time around here, and sometimes it can give you a false confidence as a pitcher. You can get it by a hitter if your memory bank starts to flow. So I can throw it right by him. That was a good cutter. That's a good pitch.
Yeah, you're right. It's a 3-1 cut fastball. You can see right at the end, just a little off speed, little boring cutting action to it. You see Euclid out in front, kind of pulls off of that pitch.
Right in on the fist and almost hit him. He fouls it back.
We talked about Euclid. He's been a lot quicker inside. You see him, he tries to get to that pitch. It's amazing that he got any bat on that at all and fouled that off. That shows you how he digs in on inside pitches and tries to cut him off.
You know what's amazing when we saw that replay? This ball almost came back and hit him in the head.
If he didn't hit the ball, it would have hit him in the shoulder for sure. Let's see if they can turn 2. Baroa to second one. Under first. Hits a double play. And around the horn, 5-4-3 double play.
Well, after the inside pitch, you go back down and away. Little cut fastball. You see Euclid out in front right off the end of the bat. A classic rollover. Look at that water come off of that grass. Baroa right to him. Tailor-made. All you got to do is feed it. Cano, easy. Quick hands, quick turn. You got Euclid.
Yeah, nice little rooster tail on it.
Breaking ball's low and inside to J.D. Drew.
Drew's had himself a pretty good road trip. He's 6 for 20.
Line drive, right center. It's a base hit. Cutting over is Melky. Drew makes a big turn, but the throw comes into Cano. So a 2-out single by J.D. Drew.
The Red Sox have done most of their damage at home, which has been a trademark over the Red Sox for years. As we look at the hitter scout report on Jason Bay. Baywatch. He's leading the major leagues in walks with 26. So he's got a good eye. And for the second time this year, he played for the Canadian club in the World Baseball Classic. And Larry Walker, the first Canadian to be an MVP, he did that with the Colorado Rockies. Walker's from Maple Ridge, British Columbia, and Bay is from Trail, British Columbia. And Walker's had 4 30 home run seasons. And early in his career here, Bay's had 3 of them. So, look for him maybe eventually to be the all-time home run leader from Canada. Larry Walker has that now.
Phil Hughes has thrown 65 pitches. Here's number 66. It's high. He's not long for this game with that kind of pitch count.
There's Walker on top with 383 home runs, most of those with the Colorado Rockies. He was a 5-tool player. Matt Stairs is up there still going with 256, and Jeff Heath, he's not going to hit anymore. He's got 194. I remember Walker when he first came up. I mean, big, strong, left-handed hitter, could play defense, he could do everything.
It was a tough out, certainly, and he hit some rockets. I mean, the other way, power to all fields. We saw Jason Bay take Mariano Rivera deep to dead center. He's got that kind of power too. He can drive it out just about anywhere in the ballpark.
Count 3-1. The command is simply not the same as it was in Detroit. And the Red Sox are a patient team. Detroit's a little bit more free swinging, and they're going to help you out a little bit if you're a little off the plate. Red Sox won't. So he's at 68 pitches right now. And the 3-1. Ground ball in the hole. Backhanded by Jeter. Goes to second. Can't make the play. The throw pulled Cabrera or Cano off, but that was still a base hit nonetheless because Drew was going to beat it out.
Ball in the hole, and I think if this is a normal night, this ball is going to get through anyway. But Jeter will get to it, but his momentum is going away from second base. Makes the play even more difficult, and the throw is offline. And I'm not so sure he would have gotten Drew anyway. I think Drew is going to be safe, so it's going to go as an infield single for Jason Bay.
There's a situation here, Michael. You're a young pitcher. You're coming off a great start. You got first and second, 2 outs. Your pitch count, as you said, is way too high for this early in the game. But if you can get out of this, get a couple quick innings, this could be one of those nights where you could gut it out and say, you know what, I struggled, but I still kept my team in the game. Got Mike Lowe, who took him deep last time. This is a key at bat for Phil Hughes early in this game.
There's a strike. Nips the outside corner.
Dave and I were talking about Lowell's home run. Now, sometimes a pitcher will come out, and Lowell hit the first pitch of the inning. And sometimes a pitcher will come out and just say, oh, let me get one over here, get ahead on the count, the first batter, and Lowell was waiting for it.
You still have to have that mentality on the mound that you can make a pitch. Yes, you're struggling. Yes, your command's off. This game's not going the way you would like, but you can still make a pitch and get out of this. You can't let this game get away from you right here. You still have to have that mentality that I can still pull it out. I can still make a quality strike here and get out of this inning, regroup, keep our team in the game.
Now, you had that as a veteran. I mean, is it realistic to ask that a 22-year-old thinks that clearly?
Well, that's the way you have to think. That's the way you have to condition yourself. And that's why we saw Jose Molina, go out and talk to Phil Hughes before Mike Lowe came up and said, hey, we're still in this. Now you got a 1-2 count. As I said before, you can't let this game get away from you right here. You got to just bear down and make a good quality pitch.
Nice block there by Molina.
Molina thinks the same thing. Excuse me, Michael. You can see Molina's just outstanding play right here. You can see he just smothers that ball. He knows right where it is. Molina back out to talk to Hughes again. You see this ball's, that's the classic 57, 56 footer. Molina recognizes it early, and he's quick back there.
Yeah, that's that work that you do in spring training on those backfields and at the Yankee complex.
Molina's been out twice this at bat to talk to Hughes. This is how important this situation is right here.
2-2. Punched out toward right field. That's going to be trouble. Coming on is Swisher, and it dunks in for a base hit. Scoring is J.D. Drew. Jason Bay goes to third. It's a bloop single by Lowell, and the Red Sox now lead 3-0.
Well, we'll see. Key at bat in the game, I think. Little slider cutter, gets the call, strike one, goes back to it 1-1. Inside corner, good pitch, jump up 1-2. Tries the curveball, overthrows it in the dirt. Good looking cutter away, kind of flat and stays there. And I tell you what, Mike Lowell's a good hitter. He hit the fastball out the time before, and you could see Molina's frustrated. Decent pitch, really nice hitting by Lowell just to get the bat on the ball, bloop it in. You got another RBI.
Yeah, right now he's a hot hitter.
And now first and third with 2 outs, and here's Jason Varitek.
You could see Molina's frustration right there. Well, that was a great shot.
75 pitches for Hughes, 42 strikes.
After the leadoff walk, then the double play, it looked like Phil Hughes is going to have himself a pretty easy inning, but then the 3 straight base hits.
Off-speed pitch, he drops it right in there for a strike, and the count 1-2. Golf toward first. Teixeira is there, but another lengthy inning for Phil Hughes. He's only given up 1 per inning, but 1 run on 3 hits. As you see the Red Sox building a picket fence. We go to the bottom of the third, 3-0 Sox. This is brought to you in part by Blimpie, America's Sub Shop. On the Modell scoreboard, Yankees are trailing this one 3-0 as we head to the bottom of the third inning. And Modell's is the official sporting goods retailer of the New York Yankees. Many hardy souls have braved the long night of rain and remain here at the stadium. And they've watched John Lester strike out 5 over the first 2 innings. Here's Angel Baroa. And there's the strike. Yankees lone hit, a single by Posada, with 1 out in the second. Count 0-2. Hey fans, it's time for the Toyota text poll. Tonight's question is, who's the best second baseman in the American League? You can text your vote to 58772. Standard text messaging rates apply, and the choices are Robinson Cano, Ian Kinsler, Dustin Pedroia, or Brian Roberts. Pretty good second baseman right there.
The second base is one of the stronger positions in the American League. It'd be interesting to see who gets a chance to start the All-Star game this year. A young man in Kansas City, Callaspo. Last time I looked, he was at 370.
Not only do you have all-star quality second baseman, but MVP candidates. I mean, this guy, obviously, Dustin Pedroia, is the reigning MVP. Ian Kinsler, probably the numbers he's throwing up could be considered a potential MVP candidate. I mean, it's very unusual to have second baseman in that category.
Baroa just gets a piece to stay alive. It's 9-1-2 in the order for the Yankees in the bottom of the third. Baroa, Jeter, and Damon against John Lester. Lester comes in 1-2, 5.40. Swing and miss. 6 strikeouts.
Some tentative swings by Baroa in this at bat, including the last one, which put him away. Lester changing speeds nicely on his breaking ball. He's got a hard one that comes down and in. He's got a slower one that kind of frisbees up to the plate. And I believe this is the one that got Baroa. Got way out in front. He chased it out of the zone as well. And the tag applied by Veritek for the putout. So it'll be a strikeout, a putout, 2 unassisted for the putout by Jason Veritek.
There's Derek Jeter, one of the 6 strikeout victims. 3 for his last 20 is Derek. And the 1-0. Line drive, base hit to left field. So a 1-out single for Jeter.
When you know Derek's feeling good about it, when he starts turning on that pitch. See that cutter kind of boring in on him. Look at him bleed right there.
And bring that elbow intact, that right elbow intact to the body, so he can get the barrel of the bat around quickly to the ball and just smoke it by Lowell, who was about even with the bag. Bat speed was a lot quicker than I could draw that little curve there.
It was Johnny Damon. Thought about a bunt. Takes it for a strike. Johnny 2 for his last 15. Average at 273. Johnny won his lone world championship as the center fielder for the 2004 Boston Red Sox. Popped up. Left side, Lowell. 2 outs. Now, we mentioned that John Lester has 6 strikeouts. Let's look at him.
They just set up things so well. Look at that finish. Down and in slider. Fastball right out, hitting the glove. Once again, just a fastball, almost like a little backdoor cutter right there. You see him just paint that inside corner. Big slow hook. Down and in the dirt. You know, Singy, I got a lot of strikeouts in my career on balls in the dirt, whether they're breaking balls or sliders. Or that's just a great finish pitch right there. He's really got it working tonight. Both sides of the plate, all his pitches.
You make it look like a only 44 pitches and 6 strikeouts. He's getting the job done. Only 1 walk, 2 hits. But you make it look like it's going to be a strike, knee-high strike, and then it drops out of the zone.
There's Mark Teixeira, switch hitter, batting from the right side against the lefty Lester. And that one's popped up. Youkilis near the Yankee dugout. Is that a rule? Well, we always used to rave about the way the field at the old Yankee Stadium drained, especially after they redid it. But David and I were watching when they were taking off the tarp, and that water just disappeared. I mean, there's no standing water in the outfield at all, and it really rained.
It's a huge puddle right behind second base all the way to first base line, and it just drained in about 5 minutes. It was gone.
Kenny, what do you see wrong with Teixeira?
Well, I just think that he's close. You know, I like the fact that he's getting his base on balls, but he just can't seem to square it up right now at this point. Pitches that he should hit, he's fouling back, and he would tell you that then he seems to be in between. They're making breaking ball pitches when he's looking for a fastball, and it's just not working right now. You know, I've been there. All hitters have been there. Just what I mean. Just took something off, dropped the breaking ball in there. You know, he was the count was even 1-1. He's looking for something a little harder. Didn't get it. Now he's behind on the count 1-2. And Lester is definitely in the driver's seat with the weapons he has on the mound. So it's almost like he's in the defensive mode right now with a 1-2 count and a very sharp pitcher at this point on the mound.
So Phil Hughes could take a cue from watching Lester tonight. I mean, it's really about throwing your breaking ball for strikes when you need to, both in the first pitch, leading off hitters, behind in the count, pitching backwards. Anytime Lester needs it, he's been able to drop that hook over for a strike. That's probably been the one pitch that's kind of eluded Hughes tonight so far.
Popped him up. And that's not for Youkilis. They're booing Teixeira, who continues his struggles. He is now 3 for his last 31. Yankees leave 1 runner on. We go to the 4th. Johnny Damon is one of 5 players to play at least 350 games for both the Yankees and the Red Sox. Nick Green pops that one up. And the question is, who are the other 4? As Molina cannot make the play.
Watching the foul pop up last inning off the bat of Teixeira, and when the ball is headed over towards the Yankee side of the field, dugout side of the field, it seems to be carrying further and further away. This ball was popped up, looked like he had a chance. He still should have made the play, and we'll see how they scored. No play.
That's the last thing Phil Hughes needs with that high pitch count. High drive, left center. Melky Cabrera. 1 out. So only 1 more pitch because of that non-play. I was talking to Oral Hershiser, a former pitching coach and a real fine pitcher in the major leagues. He's here with ESPN tonight. And he said that when Phil Hughes hurt himself in that game against Texas, when he almost pitched the no-hitter and he snapped his hamstring, he said everybody's going crazy. And I just didn't see it. I'd heard all the great stuff about what a great pitcher he was. He said, I just didn't see it, even though he was pitching a no-hitter. He goes, then I watched the game against Detroit, and I said, now I see it. Now I see what everybody's talking about. That's how much of a leap he made. That one is served into left field, and it's past the diving Damon, and it goes into the corner. And that is touched by a fan, I guess, or bounced into the seats, and it's going to be a double. So Johnny went all out to get it, couldn't make the play.
Ball was slicing away from Damon, made it that much more difficult to come up with off the end of the bat by Ellsbury. And once Johnny couldn't get it, the ball hops into the seats at a ground rule double. And I think the Yankees caught a break here with this ball actually hopping into the seats. With Ellsbury's speed, this ball continues down into the corner. It's going to be at least a triple. And if the ball kicks around towards center field, it might be even more. So a ground rule double. Damon gives the all-out effort. The ball hits the warning track and hops into the seats.
It's another example, as you see Ellsbury break out of the box, of Johnny Damon just sacrificing his body. His entire career, he's been this kind of player. Never shies away from a wall. Never afraid to dive. Really been that way since he first came up to the big leagues, and continues to today. With
1 out here, you got to keep an eye on Ellsbury. He has stolen base 3 times, the third base 3 times this year.
And Pedroia powers one to center. Melky makes the catch. Tagging is Ellsbury. The throw made it pretty close, but Ellsbury just got in there. Melky has a very good arm in center.
Here's a look at Melky and winding it up and getting it back in. It's one of the weapons he possesses, almost right on the money with the throw. 1 hop throw on the bag. And even a runner with the speed of Ellsbury is forced to slide on a fly ball to fairly deep left center field.
Two outs. Here's Ortiz. Ortiz snapped an 0 for 11 slide with a double in the first, and then he walked in the third. And he rips another line drive down the right field line. So Ortiz rounds first. He'll go to second, scoring easily as Ellsbury. And another run for the Red Sox. They're up 4-0.
Now, David, I know what scouting reports saying that he's been beat on the fastball and inside, but I think there's such a thing whether any hitter is going to the well once too often. And now he's up there after his first 2 at bats. They pounded him inside. Every once in a while, I got to show him something different. You'll start him out with a fastball out over the plate, and then he's not looking in there. All he has to do is quick stroke this one as quick as he can get it. And this time he's ready and powers it into the corner. You see him bring the hands in, get the barrel of the bat to the ball.
And there's a strike to Euclid. So a rough start for Phil Hughes. He's not getting pounded, but as I said, Red Sox are building a picket fence. It's 4-0 in the fourth. A single run in each inning. He's thrown 85 pitches, 51 strikes for Ortiz, his first RBI in 6 games. By I mean that he's struggling, but he's not getting crushed. The Yankees certainly are not out of this game. So he doesn't have his best stuff. He's throwing a lot of pitches, but 4-0 in the fourth inning is really doable. Count 1-2.
You know, sometimes when a hitter is going as well as Hughes is, he's been known in the past as having a good eye and not taking a lot of close pitches, working the counts. But from what I've seen in these first two series against the Yankees, he's swinging so well, hitting so well that he's leaving the strike zone every once in a while. He did it on that last pitch.
Just got a piece to stay alive.
That's one of the dangers as a hitter, that when you think you're going really well and you can hit anything, you really can't. I mean, the pitchers can throw it just a little higher than high or a little further outside than what your range is, and all of a sudden you're getting yourself out.
The 1-2. Blocked by Molina.
See a relieved looking David Ortiz right there. Obviously, we talked about his struggles coming into this game. Yankee Stadium seems to have gotten him going again.
Too many pitches in the same area. You know, after a while, anybody can catch on.
2-2.
Even if you start him out with a ball out over the plate away, then you can come right back in there, and maybe he won't be as quick.
Some stirring in the Yankee bullpen. This will be the 91st pitch for Hughes, and it's fouled back. They make you work. They foul back good pitches, and they wait till something is there that they can drive as Molina goes out and talks with Hughes. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees.
All kinds of discussions on the field. First Molina with Hughes, and now the trainer. And
now Joe Girardi just barked out something to the first base coach of the Boston Red Sox. Maybe he thinks he's picking up signs. And Hughes seems like he got hurt on that. But Girardi walked the length of the dugout, and now the first base coach is barking at Girardi. That's Tim Bogart.
Yeah.
And he's still going at it. So we'll watch that closely, but Girardi walked the length of the dugout to say something to Bogart.
You know, sometimes the coaches can either pick up signs or get a good feel for the signs, or maybe location where the catcher is sitting, and they will have verbal signs with their hitters, and you know, verbally call out his name or first name. If I call your first name, they're sitting inside. If I call your last name, or if I don't say anything, they're not inside. Years ago, I used to have that with Larry Doby when he was a coach of mine in Montreal.
Strike three. Hughes down on strikes. But another run for the Red Sox. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. Came right in on the inside corner. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning.
Smoker's Quick Line Quiz answer. Johnny Damon is one of 5 players to play at least 350 games for both the Yankees and the Red Sox. Who are the other 4?
Wade Boggs, Everett Scott, Mike Stanley, and of course, Babe Ruth.
Didn't Elston Howard spend some time with the Red Sox?
I think toward the end, 67, he was on the Red Sox.
But he didn't play.
He played 350.
Okay.
4-0 Red Sox lead the Yankees, bottom of the 4th. I want to remind everybody, tomorrow, Yankees Red Sox again. You've got Beckett against Jabba. Then the postgame after that. And following the postgame, you got to stay tuned for Bernie Williams' concert, which really, it was phenomenal. And it's a great show. Please make sure to stay tuned for that after tomorrow night's postgame show. Yankees Red Sox, second game of this series.
Red Sox have done a good job pecking away at Phil Hughes, a run in each one of the first 4 innings, and the Yankee bullpen is going, so it gives you an idea that with the pitch count up there for Hughes, he's going to be out of the ball game.
That's given deep to left center field, giving Chase Ellsbury on the run. He's dead, and balls are dying out there tonight. Nick Green looked like he was going to put one in the Red Sox bullpen. That looked like it had some legs to it as well, but just not moving out there in Death Valley.
This one didn't quite have the sound. I don't think he quite got it on a good sweet spot at the bat, and that's why, even though he gave it a pretty good ride to left center, that Ellsbury's, I got it, and usually it's a good indication.
We've seen the flags kind of pick up and blowing definitely in from left, and some of the conspiracy theorists have talked about the swirling winds here at Yankee Stadium carrying out to right, but ball's not carrying to left tonight, certainly not. Especially, you can even see the rain that's still misting, kind of blowing left to right. So any ball to left field, especially out towards Death Valley, is going to have to be crushed to get out tonight.
Like what Mike Lowell did. And that was more pulled than actually toward Death Valley. Cano swings and misses. Alfredo Aceves called up before the game. Warming. The Yankees want some innings from him. Anthony Claggett, who was called up before yesterday's game, never actually was on the roster for the second time this year for a game, because yesterday's game was rained out. And with rain in the forecast today, they didn't know if they'd have to start and stop a starter, so they brought up Alfredo Aceves. .55 pitches for Lester, so he's been economical. 37 strikes.
Good strike to ball ratio.
And the count 2-2. While we have a chance, I'd like to thank the crew here at Yes. I mean, it's been a long night. The cameramen are standing out in awful weather, rain falling on them, everybody in the truck, our great producer and director, and all the people that work with them, and just a great job by them. And they put together this broadcast every single night. So inclement weather, long night, so thanks to all the guys and gals. Shattered bat, ground or foul up the first baseline.
They look like they were dressed for football weather today.
Looks like Lambeau Field.
Yeah, doesn't it? You notice how those cameras are covered up too? Very valuable pieces of equipment. The only cameraman that's really high and dry is Jack Williams up here in the booth.
He laughs at everybody else.
Yeah, isn't it? There's Jack.
Breaking ball, strike 3. Cano down looking. That's strikeout number 7 for Lester. You know where else they're warm? Out in the Mohegan Sun Bar. The Mohegan Sun Sports Bar, right out there in center field. The Mohegan Sun, you'll find a million different ways to play with something for everyone. Visit MoheganSun.com for more information.
Well, Robbie does not like it, but Lester and Varitek have been unpredictable, and this has got plenty of play. Big bending breaking ball. You see that back leg buckle, and you see the reaction Cano. I think when he goes back and sees the video, he's going to realize that that had a lot of break on it. Lester's been so unpredictable tonight. Fastballs on the corner, sliders, and a big slow breaking ball that definitely got the inside corner on that last called third strike.
Yeah, he's got a nice rhythm going in this game.
And the 0-1. Count 0-2.
That's the pitch to me that's really set it all up for Lester. That big slow hook. He could start out hitters. He jumped up there 0-2 on Posada. He can finish hitters with it. He's got one he throws for a strike and one he misses with down in the dirt.
It's almost as if he's pitching the game that Hughes pitched in Detroit, getting all of his pitches around the plate or over the plate. And that's one thing Hughes didn't do tonight. That's why his pitch count got up there. And that's why Savas is warmed up in the bullpen and ready to come in.
Count 2-2.
It's hard to believe that Lester's carrying around an earned run average of 5.40 at this point in the season. I know it could be a product of one or two bad innings.
In his start against the Yankees a couple of Fridays ago, 6 innings, and he allowed just 2 runs. That was a game that the Red Sox came back with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning and ended up winning that game in extra innings. Wind really blowing strongly right in toward home plate, and again the flags in left field you can see pointing straight at us, and it makes it seem a little bit colder than it is temperature wise here at the stadium.
This feels like early April as opposed to getting into May here.
The actual temperature at game time was 54 degrees. Feels a lot colder than that. And the 2-2 just missed inside. Lester wanted strikeout number 8.
He was about ready to walk off the mound.
One thing you want to be careful with the Red Sox, you don't want to get into their bullpen trailing, because their bullpen is lights out this year. 3rd best ERA in the American League after Oakland and Toronto. And Posada works a walk. Want to get something done against Lester. Since April 14th, Boston's bullpen ERA is 2.24, overall 2.93. Here's Melky Cabrera, 1st and 3rd with a 1 out in the 2nd. Cabrera struck out looking, so did Molina. That was the Yankees' best threat so far. Melky's riding a 7-game hitting streak, and Lester deals. 1-0.
Well, you're right, Singy. I mean, talking about Lester's numbers coming into this game, you know, his first 2 starts he gave up 11 earned runs, and over the last 3 starts he's only given up 7. Shut out Baltimore on April 19th, 7 innings, no runs, and then of course the Yankee game on April 24th he gave up 2. Got touched up for 5 runs against Cleveland in his last start. He's sort of like Sabathia is to the Yankees. He's the least of your worries. If you're Terry Francona and you're the Red Sox, you don't really worry about this guy. You know he's going to get it going. It's the same with the Yankees and Sabathia. The numbers are a little deceiving early in the year, and these guys are horses. And see his career numbers versus the Yankees in 5 starts, 2-0 with a 3.34 ERA.
Strike. Count 2-1.
We saw a shot of Terry Francona there, the manager for the Red Sox, who's done such a fabulous job with this ball club. And you think about it, he was managing the Phillies for 4 years in Philadelphia, and in none of those seasons did they have a winning record. Boston, he comes up to Boston. He's won a couple of world titles. He's got the horses here in Boston. In Philadelphia, maybe decent players, but certainly not the players he's had here in Boston.
The greatest player ever had was in the minor leagues, Michael Jordan. Birmingham Barons, White Sox farm system in AA. You see his numbers with the Red Sox: 485 and 350. That's pretty good. 581.
You knew he was a great player in the minor leagues when he went out and bought the team a new bus.
I was just thinking that, Ziggy.
That's a good player to have on your ball club. As much traveling as you do on the buses in the minor leagues.
2-2.
I guess MJ was used to riding in style.
You know what? The one thing that Francona says is he says that managing Michael Jordan that year prepared him for Boston, because Jordan was constantly surrounded by media every single game. It wasn't like a AA team, and he knew how to deal with the media, deal with expectations, television requests. And I mean, it's tough in Boston. The media is voracious, and he's gone through the Michael Jordan stuff, so this worked for him. And Philadelphia's no picnic either. The 2-2. Chopped slowly towards short. Nick Green flips and gets the out the short way for the final out of the fourth inning. No runs, no hits, no errors in. One man left on base. Get warm. Get warm in a hurry. We go to the fifth. 4-0 Red Sox. About how he overcame anxiety and actually left the game for 4 months because he just couldn't stand the crowds and being around people like that. And he talked to people, got some help, and here he is. He's arguably the best pitcher right now at 6-0 in the majors. Alfredo Aceves takes over in relief of Phil Hughes as the Yankees make the call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T, your world delivered. And Aceves, his last 2 starts with AAA, very strong. He started off shaky down at Scranton Wilkes-Barre, but bounced back, and here he is, the long man for the Yanks. Count 0-2 on Drew.
We saw Aceves last year as we look at his numbers from a year ago. And one thing I liked about him, he threw the ball over the plate. less than a hit per inning. 10 walks, maybe a little high, 16 strikeouts. Yeah, he's a put the ball in play type pitcher. He doesn't want you to hit the ball on the fat of the bat. He changes speeds, moves the ball around from corner to corner.
On the Lexus scoreboard right now, it's 4-0 Red Sox. Yankees with 2 hits, one by Jeter and one by Posada. John Lester has been very, very good. And Drew swings and misses, so 1 away.
You see Molina set up away, hits the glove right there, 92 miles an hour, perfect location. That's what you said, Zingy. That's what they liked about Aceves last year, is he throws his fastball in and out. He's not really a power guy, but he's not afraid. He's not afraid of contact.
Grounded in the hole. Jeter fields, no throw. An infield single for Jason Day. That'll bring up Mike Lowell, his first at bat in the 2nd inning.
First pitch he saw in the ball game. Up, out over the plate, and up, out over the fence. Home run number 6 on the year. He's driven in 2 runs tonight. 22 RBIs in his last 18 games. Nice little string here.
Lined into left field, Damon. 2 outs.
He is a first ball fastball hitter, isn't he?
Always has been. He's always ready. You know, very similar to Paul Molitor in that regard. Kind of not a real big stride guy, but a quick bat and always ready for a first pitch fastball.
Okay, so that begs the question. You both know it. I'm learning it. Why would you throw him a first pitch fastball then?
Well, just because the guy's a first pitch fastball hitter doesn't mean you can't throw him a fastball. You can come inside off the plate. You can throw a ball. You can go off the plate with a fastball. You can go up the ladder. You don't always have to shy away from a fastball. You just got to shy away from that first pitch get me over fastball that we saw him hit out of the park earlier in the game. Well, I was always a proponent of pitching bad to a hitter's strengths. If a guy's a first pitch fastball hitter, if he's quick in, then throw it even further in, chase him in. You know, I mean, there's different ways to go about it. You don't always have to shy away from a hitter's strengths. Sometimes you go after a hitter's strengths and go after his strength by pitching bad to where he's looking for the pitch.
Remember, you once told me if the guy's a low ball hitter, I just go lower.
It's called, there's different theories. It's called pitching bad to a hitter's strengths. And if Mike Lowe's a first pitch fastball hitter, you can chase him in off the plate. See, go ahead and hit this one. We saw Youkilis, almost hit a pitch, chase a pitch that almost hit him earlier in this game. And that's pitching bad to a strength. When the guy's looking for a fastball, doesn't mean you can't throw a fastball.
The 0-1. There's a strike.
I think you really have to pay attention to the scouting reports, especially when you got a good hitting club like the Red Sox. Who are the real hot guys? Lowell's one of the real hot guys. So you definitely want to make good pitches to him. You don't want to throw anything just to get it over, because he's going to get it up and out.
Count 1-2 in the top of the 5th inning. About a 2-hour and 20-minute rain delay at the start of this game. That's why we are only in the 5th at 10 minutes after 11. It's 4-0 Red Sox. They have 8 hits, all against Phil Hughes. Check that. One of them against Alfredo Aceves. 7 hits against Phil Hughes in 4 innings. Shattered bat, ground ball to Cano. He'll take the out at first, and that's going to do it. Good first inning for Alfredo Aceves. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. He did it in 10 pitches, so much more economical than Hughes. We're halfway through. Red Sox up 4-0. J&R Music and Computer World, and by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicle of the New York Yankees. Well, we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, and John Lester has been the story as of this point. It's 4-0 Red Sox. Lester's walked 2. He struck out 7 over 4 innings. And he will face 8, 9, and 1 in the Yankees order. Molina, Baroa, and Jeter.
David, I know you were looking at Zach Greinke's effort tonight against the White Sox, and pretty strong. Huh?
Pretty impressive. I mean, after the game, another shutout. His ERA now for the season is 0.40.
Whip foul.
He had 10 strikeouts and no walks.
On the Lexus scoreboard, 4-8-0, leading 0-2-0. The thing they say about Greinke is he has 4 pitches and he will throw all of them in any count. 3-0, he throws a breaking ball, thinks he could get over every pitch. Grounded foul.
Right now, he's pitching himself into an all-star start. Was the all-star game in St. Louis this year?
St. Louis, short ride for him.
Yeah, well, not only that, how do you think they'd feel in St. Louis? They get a lot of people from Kansas City there to see him start the all-star game.
A straight shot, I-70, east and west. Go back to the 1985 World Series, the I-70 World Series, Cardinals and Royals.
Saberhagen days.
It's the only World Series title for the Royals in their franchise history.
Joaquin Andujar for the Cardinals.
Punched out and past the diving Youkilis and into right field. So a leadoff single for Molina.
I think it was Andujar who said the 2 most important words in the English language are "you never know." There's a pitch in on the hands and kind of an inside-out swing by Molina, and fights it right on by Youkilis. It took that hop just over his glove and on into the outfield. A leadoff single. Second time in the game, the Yankees had a leadoff man on. They had a leadoff walk to Nick Swisher in the 2nd inning.
Here's Angel Baroa. Grounded right back to Lester. This could be 2. There's 1. Not in time. That wasn't turned that cleanly. The throw by Lester was low to Nick Green.
And the timing wasn't quite there as Green came across the bag and the throw was low. But it looked like a tailor-made double play. One bouncer back to the pitcher. There's the low throw. And Green kind of thrown off stride a little bit. Recovers. Gets something on the throw. But Baroa, because of this throw right here, is able to beat the relay. Green has to worry about catching the ball first. And then Baroa just beats the throw to first base.
Here's Derek Jeter. Fastball's high. Last year against the Yankees, Lester in 3 starts, 2-0 with a 1.19 ERA. Now Baroa's got speed. 2 things against him though. He's down 4-0, and Lester leads the American League with 5 pickoffs. There's been only 1 stolen base and 5 attempts against him. Andy Pettitte has 4. Lester has 5.
Yeah, when you're down by 4 runs, you might want to shorten up your lead against a pitcher with a good move.
Now the Red Sox had that 11-game winning streak. Since then, they are 2-4, and in the last 6 games, their ERA is a team 6.97.
Tell you what, on that last delivery, it appeared that Lester almost balked, like he didn't come to that slight hesitation or pause. He trying to get rid of the ball quickly to home plate various times, and it almost appeared like he just held him up in front of his face and delivered.
I think that's what makes him so tough. He's got a good move to first, but he varies his times. He's got a slide step, a quick move. He's got a high leg kick. He really mixes it up. You know, we talked about Zach Greinke before, throwing all of his pitches, having a great game for Kansas City tonight, going 6-0. The thing he does is not only does he throw his fastball to both sides of the plate, he throws his breaking ball to both sides of the plate, and that's what John Lester does so well, in following that sort of a pattern. It's just it's very unpredictable. You can't follow him. Both he and Varitek have been a tough match tonight.
2-2. Strike 3. Jeter down looking. He does not like that call.
Going to look at Varitek setting up inside, and you see a great frame job by Varitek. Almost caught the ball in the heel of his glove and held that glove right there.
Now Girardi just got thrown out. He came in to support Jeter, and Jerry Meals threw him out. Now Girardi's going to get his money's worth. Girardi's also trying to spark his club a little bit. They seem a little flat, and they've seemed flat against the Red Sox all year.
Well, one thing you can't argue is balls and strikes. That's automatic ejection, and once he came out of the dugout, going to be turning around going the other way pretty soon.
Well, that's a great job by the manager to protect your shortstop, get out there before he gets run. Better that the manager gets thrown out than your shortstop. But a little bit of that has to do with Hughes, too. I think Girardi felt like Phil Hughes got squeezed early in the game a little bit. Of course, John Lester has been around the plate all night long, and when you are, and you do work both sides of the plate, you're going to get the benefit of some calls. But I thought Varitek did a great job of framing this pitch as well.
Nice. You see how to receive the ball and kind of watch him bring it kind of right back in the zone. Turn his glove back over and get the call.
See him hold his glove right there and almost catch it in the heel of his glove.
Johnny Damon hits one deep to right. Going back is Drew. Looking up. See ya! Two-run home run. Johnny Damon. Yankees finally on the board. Red Sox lead is 4-2. So Girardi was trying to jumpstart his club. Boy, it worked quickly.
The Yankees have now hit 36 home runs in 25 games.
It's a fastball, and it's going to end up right down the middle, almost in his wheelhouse. Middle, down, drops the head on it, hits it a long way down the line.
And that one's driven deep to left field, off the bat of Teixeira. See ya! Solo home run, Teixeira, as the Yankees go back-to-back, and they close to within one.
Well, we talked about how Teixeira is very close. I believe his last time up he fouled off or popped up on a hittable ball. He doesn't miss this one. Right down the middle. And this one's headed for the Red Sox bullpen in deep left center field. That's his 4th home run of the year. Well tagged. Another look. Right there, and now it's not. Off into the night.
And that's Teixeira's first home run since April 18th. A stretch of 50 at-bats. So the Yankees now trail 4-3 as John Farrell went out to talk with John Lester.
After being on the corners all night long, Lester very rarely in the middle of the plate. 2 straight pitches to 2 at-bats in a row. 2 batters in a row, right down the middle. And sometimes you get away with them. Johnny Damon and Mark Teixeira had other ideas.
Pitch is low.
Yankees have now hit 37 home runs in their last 25 games.
Well, this crowd is charged up. They've been here a long time. Most of them have been here since 6 o'clock. Scheduled start time was 7. And it's 20 after 11 right now. And there's a strike. First 4 innings, they didn't have much to cheer about.
There's the 2 guys.
I told you that relationship didn't have much chance. There's a strike, count 1-2.
Kevin Long's going to assume the role of working the home plate umpire.
Well, hitting coach going to stick up for his hitters, you know that.
And the 1-2. Grounded foul.
Great ratio, 58 strikes to 28 balls. But still, 88 pitches here in the bottom of the 5th. The Yankees would like to push that a little higher.
The 1-2. Strike 3. Swisher down looking. 9th strikeout of the game for Lester. It's now an official game, and it's now a game. Derek Jeter down looking. Joe Girardi breaks it up, gets thrown out. We go to the 6th inning. Alfredo Aceves in his 2nd inning of relief will deal to Nick Green. There's a strike. So the Yankees in this one now. They trail the Red Sox 4-3. 2 home runs in the 5th inning woke them up and the crowd up. Girardi got thrown out, his 5th ejection as a manager. 3 of them coming as a New York Yankee. The other 2 with the Florida Marlins. Green has flied out twice to Melky Cabrera in center. Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not.
I was going to say that ejection of Manager Joe Girardi was not on Derek Jeter's at bat alone. It was going back to the pitches that Phil Hughes was throwing earlier in the ball game. I think he felt that his pitcher was getting squeezed.
Grounded to Jeter. Nice hop. And Teixeira could not come up with a scoop. So that's an E6 on Jeter.
Sometimes plays almost a little too easy. Nice high hop, and then a chance to plenty of time to make the throw. And sometimes infielders that make bad throws when they have a lot of time. They just try and laze the ball over to try and guide it as opposed to throwing it, and Teixeira can't dig it out. Off the heel of the glove on in and then out. And Green's going to be safe. E6.
Back to the top of the lineup in Ellsbury.
See how the Red Sox on the plate is here. Nick Green has some decent speed at first. Ellsbury is a good bunter. Although the Red Sox do not have a sacrifice bunt all season long. 0.
Missed outside.
The big league record is 51 games at the beginning of the season without a sacrifice bunt. That was Toronto in 2003. They didn't bunt in those days. They didn't steal in those days.
That was the old Moneyball days. They didn't believe in giving away one of the 27 outs. Ellsbury had 4 sacrifice bunts last year. Time was called before the throw.
Well, Michael, just to make you feel good, you know, they played a long game up in Toronto tonight, where Cleveland actually with 3 in the top of the 9th and 3 in the top of the 12th beat Toronto 9-7.
That one's driven out to right field. Giving chase is Swisher, and he makes the play. Good jump in the gap to take away an extra base hit.
David, when this ball was first hit by Ellsbury, I thought it had plenty of gap. And let's see where Swisher's playing. A little bit off the line for him towards the gap, and runs it down, gets the ball back in quickly. Nice running catch by the Yankee right fielder.
We've seen Swisher handle himself very well in right field. He's getting good jumps on the ball. The Yankees have had excellent defensive positioning by their bench all year long. But Swisher has shown that he can get a jump on a ball and runs this one down.
A lot of people felt he was misplaced in center field last year with the White Sox, and that led to some of his problems. And he's a better corner outfielder than he is a center fielder. Aceves looked so effective last year when he joined the rotation. Doesn't have overpowering stuff, but he has an idea out there. Knows how to pitch.
Plus, he doesn't change his expression out there. You know, that's one thing for a pitcher when he's working, even when he's getting hit or it's giving up some hits, his expression doesn't change. You know, sometimes when pitchers, they get all frustrated out on the mound, then the opposition, well, we got this guy. Just a couple more hits and he's gone.
He's got a very confident demeanor on the mound, and he really showed that last year when he came up. You know, he acts like he belongs. We've said before, he's not afraid of contact, throws the ball over the plate. He's got decent stuff. Not a power guy, but he can run it up. He's kind of sneaky quick in the low 90s.
Line drive to left field. It's a base hit for Pedroia. Stopping at second is Nick Green. And let's see if they pitch David Ortiz any differently than they have the first 3 times.
Kind of see that ball run back towards the middle. Trying to hit the outside corner. Pedroia. Boy, he gets just everything into every swing. Tremendous hand-eye coordination, as we mentioned earlier. Hits the ball to all fields.
Having a good discussion here as to what they want to do with the Big Papi. Now, we've seen everything has been in on his hands, and he's drilled a couple towards right field tonight. Down the line. You're going to bring it in there. You got to bring it in there with something on it.
Be another one of my computer updates, Michael. Scott Kazmir really struggling. Gave up 6 runs in 6 innings. Now got a 6.0 ERA with Tampa Bay losing to Baltimore tonight. 8-4.
And Tampa Bay looks so good against the Red Sox, winning 3 of 4. And Baltimore has really been staggering. So it's hard to figure out baseball on a game-to-game basis. They go outside against Ortiz and the count 1-0.
Kind of makes you wonder how long it's going to be before David Price gets the call to come back up for the Rays.
Squibbed out toward third. Baroa will step on the bag, get one, fire to first. Got him! An outstanding play by Angel Baroa. Heads up, running to third, getting Green, and knowing he had time to get Big Papi. Squibbed off the end of the bat. Makes the play. Steps on the bag and fires to first. And David Ortiz is out. No runs to hit. 1 error and 1 left. Aceves likes it. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Brewed cup of coffee at Yes. We get our Green Mountain K-Cup coffee from the same people who bring us our office supplies. WB Mason, who bought? We go to the 6th inning. New first baseman for the Red Sox. Jeff Bailey takes over. And that one ties up Cano and he fouls it back. So obviously something up with Youkilis. Earlier in the game we saw him swing and miss and kind of grimace. It could have been on this play. Actually fouled the ball off. Who knows if that's a rib cage or whatever, but he did grimace after the swing. High fly ball. right center field. Ellsbury is there, and there's one out in the sixth. Well, time for another look at tonight's Toyota text poll. Once again, the question: who's the best second baseman in the American League? You've been texting to 58772, and at this point, these are the results. 69, I guess it's a Yankee audience, 69% said Robinson Cano. They mustered 19% of the votes for the MVP of the league, and 10% for Kinsler and 2% for Brian Roberts. There's a strike.
I don't know if you've been watching Kinsler, but he's got a bunch of home runs, a bunch of doubles, stolen bases.
Really, all three of those guys are potential MVP type guys.
And a strike.
I get a feeling that one of the three is going to start the All-Star game. Before you get the MVP, you got to get to the All-Star game.
You see Lester pitching so well, and there's a story behind the story. He actually overcame cancer, ended up pitching a no-hitter, and Terry Francona sees that 94 pitches. Said he was as happy as he's ever been on a baseball field when, after what this kid went through, that he was able to battle back and spin a no-hitter in the major leagues. Now he's become a very important part of this staff. So a great human interest story, on top of the fact he happens to be a great pitcher. May 19th, 2008 is when John Lester came all the way back and no-hit the Kansas City Royals. The fact that he was on the mound and pitching again was a victory, and then he had enough to actually pitch a no-hitter, and there's Francona, who grabbed him in an embrace and thinks of him almost like a member of the family. Foul tip.
Well, we talked about in our scouting report that only Lester and Nolan Ryan have no-hit the Kansas City Royals. Actually, for Nolan Ryan, that was his first of his 7 no-hitters. 7 no-hitters.
I just shake my head singing when I even think about it. You know, I mean, I actually pitched against Nolan Ryan early in my career when I was with the Mets. And you talk about a thrill just matching up with that guy. But 7 no-hitters, just ridiculous when you think about it.
Ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit. Posada's 2 for 2 with a walk.
That was actually one of those no-hitters that Nolan Ryan threw against us. I think it was 1975. Yep, it was 75. There's a base hit through the middle. Posada's got a stroke down. He's been on base 3 times tonight. 2 for 2 with a walk. And for the second straight inning, the Yankees get the leadoff man on. And we'll see if there's any stirring in the Red Sox bullpen.
1 out. Posada on first. Cano led off with a fly ball to center. Here's Melky Cabrera. We get word on Youkilis. Left the game with a tight lower left back. Melky grounds one slowly to third. Lowell makes the play at first as Posada advances to second. But Melky's 0 for 3. His 7-game hitting streak still at 7. Posada's the DH tonight. Molina is the catcher, and Molina steps into the batter's box. He's 1 for 2. Posada starts to rub his hamstring there. I don't know if it's just a strawberry from the slide. He's still rubbing it right now.
Well, he had some problems with it in Detroit on the recent road trip. Molina caught back-to-back games against the Tigers. You can see when you start stretching out like that. Yep.
High fly ball, left field, backing up Bay. And he's there to make the play for the final out of the 6th. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We played 6 here at the new house. We go to the 7th. It's 4-3. The official luxury vehicle of the New York Yankees. And we go to the 7th inning. And here's Jeff Bailey, who entered the game in the bottom of the 6th on the Viagra scoreboard. It's 4-3 Red Sox. And the pitch to Bailey is outside.
Just to let you know, Michael, because I know we're approaching midnight here on in the Bronx. There you go. You know, we're not the only game on the East Coast still going on, Michael. The 14th inning down in Florida. 11:45, the Armatron clock here at Yankee Stadium. Yeah, Michael, they're still playing down in Miami. It's 2-2 in the 14th. You see Aceves just pump a fastball.
You know, David, that we're 15 minutes away from Cinco de Mayo. And it all ties in with Alfredo Aceves on the mound. He's from Mexico, which is perfect. Couldn't write it better. Here's J.D. Drew, and there's a strike.
I can't wait.
For Cinco de Mayo? So J.D. Drew gets black and blue.
See Molina setting up and in. He's trying to cut this. You see that ball boring in, up and in. A tight little cut, slider type pitch. Kind of overthrows it, and J.D. Drew just cannot get out of the way. It's one of those ones thing, just chasing you. That's just got your number. Heat-seeking missile. There's no way to get out of the way.
You know, I didn't get hit all that often, Mike. You know, and one of the reasons, being a switch hitter, you're always on the opposite hand of the opposite side of the pitcher's hand. Gives you a split second more to get out of the way. Plus, it stood off the plate. You know, much in the same way that Jason Bay does. You see how he stands off the plate there? Now, the whole idea for me was I didn't like the ball in, but I liked it out over the plate. So I wanted to give the pitcher the impression that he had all of the outside corner open. But actually, that's where I kind of wanted it. Middle the.
That one's drilled deep to left. That could be damaging. Off the foul pole. A 2-run home run for Jason Bay. And the Red Sox lead 6-3.
Almost right down the middle. Look at him lean. And off the pole for a home run, his 6th of the year. I'll tell you what, this guy's come over from Pittsburgh. He's done a heck of a job for the Boston Red Sox. And we told you in our scouting report, he is a very good hitter. He's had 3 30 home run seasons already in his young career. And he was like a Mr. Pittsburgh when he was with the Pirates.
You see, he gets a fastball, middle in, belt high. See his eyes light up, gets the head. You can see he knows that ball's hooking. So there's where the body English comes. That ball had a lot of hook on it. Just caught the foul pole.
Channeling Carlton Fisk from the 1975 World Series against the Cincinnati Reds. He body English the ball to end a World Series game. That one's popped up. And Molina's having a tough day. He had a pass ball. He couldn't make a play on a pop-up that was playable. That one also in the field of play, and this is not going to go on his resume tape this game.
He's got to cover a lot of ground. You get over there, almost looks like he lost track of where he was. He had a little more room than he thinks he has. Kind of pulls up thinking he's right by the rail. Still had a long way to cover right there, though. It was not an easy play.
And now his night gets worse as he gets tagged with a foul ball. And this is one of the better defensive catchers in baseball, so anybody could have a rough night. John Flaherty felt that back in the studio with Bob Lorenz. And we'll hear from John and Bob after the game. And Kimberly Jones as well on the WB Mason postgame. The 0-2, swing and a miss, low down on strikes.
You know, Michael, it's almost as if Jason Bay, obviously Manny Ramirez's replacement from last year and the big deal. A lot of brouhaha going on in Boston last year about Manny and whether or not to trade him. Finally make the trade, bring this guy in. This guy's picking right up where Manny left off as far as a Yankee killer.
Yeah, I think the real difference, though, Bay's one of them. He's definitely picked up the slack as far as production out of left field. But I think the big difference is Euclid stepping into the 4th spot in the lineup. And although Manny's one of the greatest hitters of all time, the Red Sox haven't really missed him because Euclid has stepped into that role. And maybe he won't hit 40 home runs or 35 like Manny can, but he's going to drive in runs.
Good way to endear yourself to the Fenway crowd is take Mariano Rivera deep in Boston, as we saw at the series up in Boston recently with the Yankees. See Phil Koch loosening up.
So Aceves was pitching well that made that mistake to Bay, and that turned a 4-3 game into a 6-3 game here in the top of the 7th inning. And the pitch. Out of the way.
Well, that's the look of a guy that's obviously still very much in this game. John Lester right there. His pitch count up around 100 through 6. Definitely going back out for the bottom of the 7th.
And Baratek swings and misses. So Aceves strikes out the side, but he hit J.D. Drew, and then Jason Bay hit him. Jason Bay's hurt the Yankees. Bottom of the 9th inning, a couple of Fridays ago in Fenway, 2 outs, and he ties the game with 1 swing. And then a couple of batters ago, with 1 out, runner on first, he Englishes the ball right off the foul pole for a 2-run home run. At the end of 6 1/2, the Red Sox lead 6-3, but we stay right here and honor America here in the Bronx. Animal would be. Back here at the stadium, bottom of the 7th inning, Red Sox lead the Yankees 6-3 on the Viagra scoreboard, 6-10-0, leading 3-6-1. As Angel Baroa digs in against John Lester. So now the Yankees have a 3-run deficit to try to make up. And a strike from Lester. Baroa is 0 for 2, but scored a run. Reached on a fielder's choice. Kind of a windmill hack there, and the count 0-2. Baroa had a great spring training, and the Yankees had to decide between carrying Baroa or Pena. They decided to go with Pena. Pena played very well for them. But Baroa was called up when Cody Ransom went down. That one almost plunked Baroa. Career high is 10 strikeouts. He's at 9 right now. Did not strike anybody out in the 6th.
Even though he got roughed up in the fifth, with the 2 homers, he had a couple of strikeouts that inning.
And the 1-2. He's got his career high tied now. Tomorrow night on Yes, the Yankees close out this quick set against the Red Sox right here at Yankee Stadium. Coverage starts at 6 with batting practice today and then the Tri-State Ford pregame. Then David Cohn, Ken Singleton, and I have all the action. Red Sox Yankees, it all starts tomorrow at 6 only on Yes. And remember, after the postgame show, the Bernie Williams concert moving forward. And really, it's an outstanding, outstanding concert. He's just a great guitarist, and you'll love it. So you got to stick around for that after the postgame. Here's Derek Jeter. And the pitch low, 1-0. There's a couple of veterans. John Smoltz, who was actually taking a little bit of a step back in his rehab from shoulder surgery, and Tim Wakefield, who's having a very good season for the Red Sox. Smoltz was supposed to be coming back on June 1st. And now they've pushed that back a couple of weeks at least. Slow ground ball is short. And they just get Jeter for the second out.
Good play by Nick Green, charging on the run. You know, when you're charging like that, you can't afford to set up the hop. You got to get the ball, get to it as quickly as possible, and then straighten up and throw on the run. And Nick Green did a good job. And you know, sometimes in the harder hit balls, you can lay back, pick the right hop. Not this time. You have to charge. Ball came up nicely for him, and he makes the accurate throw to Bailey at first for the second out of the inning.
Here's Johnny Damon, kind of electrified, and got the Yankees back into the game with that 2-run home run in the 5th, right after Joe Girardi got tossed out of the game. Joe came out to kind of separate Derek Jeter and the home plate umpire Jerry Meals, and was immediately tossed out. Manager cannot argue balls and strikes. Now Kim Jones will talk to Joe Girardi as part of the interview process after the game. We'll see exactly what Joe thought about being thrown out.
Well, the situation, he wants to keep his shortstop, his captain, in the ball game and getting out there, but it's sort of like caught in between. It's like catch-22, because as soon as you come out of the dugout and say anything, it's considered to be arguing balls and strikes, even though you might not be.
Well, I thought he did an excellent job of protecting Jeter. I mean, we don't see Jeter argue that long or that much on balls and strikes with home plate umpires. And the fact that Derek was hanging in there and questioning that call, you know, put him in jeopardy of getting run out of this game. And Girardi did a great job of getting out there and protecting Jeter and keeping him in this game.
And the 3-1. Another high drive right field. Didn't get this one, though. J.D. Drew is there, and that'll do it. So a 1-2-3 inning for John Lester, who's getting stronger as he moves forward. We go to the 8th inning. Red Sox lead the Yankees 6-3. You are watching, yes, it's Cinco de Mayo on the East Coast. in on yes. We're allowing you to vote along with the three of us here in the booth for the Chevrolet Player of the Game. Text your vote to 58772. Tonight's candidates are number 1, Mike Lowell, number 2, Jason Bay, number 3, Johnny Damon, number 4, John Lester. So vote now and make your voice heard. And of course, standard text messaging rates apply. Nick Green 0 for 3. Grounded to third. Baroa with a tough hop. And backhanded scoop by Teixeira, one away. Mentioned this is the Red Sox first time here at the new Yankee Stadium. Remember, they opened the old Yankee Stadium in 1923, a game the Yankees won 4-1, and Babe Ruth hit a home run in that first game. And that was the first of 484 losses that the Red Sox had across the street. And their record lifetime, 285 and 484. Yankees out everything them. And there were 4 ties thrown in there as well. Swing and a miss. Another change. 2 in a row.
Well, they go to the well 3 times. Yankees made a good call bringing up Aceves today, sending out Claggett because Aceves could give them length. The weather, you know, it could have been a situation where Phil Hughes started, rains come, you have to take him out of the game, you have to come back with somebody if it's a lengthy rain delay. And the feeling was Aceves gave them the best opportunity to be that man to come out of the bullpen. And he has given the Yankees length out of the bullpen.
Being at the bullpen, Okajima and Ramirez warming for the Red Sox. Sliced inside third and past Baroa down the left field line. And Ellsbury picks up a 1-out single. Join Bob Lorenz and John Flaherty back in the Yes studio for the WB Mason postgame. Got to stick around after the final out for all the highlights and stars from this game against the Red Sox, and then hear what the players have to say with Kim Jones in the clubhouse. It's the WB Mason postgame. It's right here on Yes. Ellsbury now with 2 hits and 4 at bats. Also had a walk. And here is Dustin Pedroia. Pedroia has grounded into 7 double plays this year. Singled his last time up, walked in the first and scored a run. He is 7 for his last 19.
Ellsbury with 13 steals, been caught 3 times. Yankees get ahead on the count here. If they get ahead on the count before Ellsbury goes, it might be worthwhile to pitch out one time just to show Ellsbury and the Red Sox that they will do it. But sometimes it could be a deterrent to a team stealing. So they're ahead on the count. Right there, we're throwing a breaking ball strike. See Molina looking over to the dugout. Even if he doesn't go, it's just a reminder that we know you're over there, and we're going to try everything we can to keep you from stealing. There's the throw to first. On a pitch out, sometimes it's almost you don't want to pay attention to him. You want him to go because you're guessing that he will be, and then you don't throw over the first base.
Tony Pena managing the Yankees with Joe Girardi being thrown out, although I'm sure Joe is close by. Runner goes, pitch out, and throw to second. It's a bad one. It goes into center field, and Ellsbury will get up and go to third. It wasn't a great pitch out because Molina had to reach back when he should have been going to his right.
Yeah, had everything right there except the execution of the play. You know, you had a feeling he was going. You see, he had, as Michael said, he had to reach back towards the plate, and then the throw was offline, and Ellsbury goes all the way to third. This is the worst thing you want to happen on a pitch out. I mean, everything is set up to get him. You guess right, he's going, but then you throw the ball into center field. He ends up at third base with 1 out.
Now the Yankees have to bring the infield in. And that's a stolen base and an E2. One up and in on Pedroia.
Every once in a while you get visitation rights, right, Tony?
See, that ball had some run on it too. It kind of started off on the plate, kind of ran up and in. But Pedroia definitely gets a little bow tie there. It ends up being a bow tie, although I thought the ball started on the plate and then had some good movement running up and in.
Crowd of 46,426 here at the stadium. Not that many still here. There's a strike on the outside corner. Pedroia not thrilled with that.
Yeah, what happens is that pitch up and in, and the next pitch hits the outside corner. It's like the outside corner is 2 blocks away after the pitcher's just dumped you. You're not as aggressive going out there to get it. And you know what? He was right. It was a ball. It was outside.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at third. Infield in. Yankees trail 6-3, top of the 8th. And fouled straight back here.
Has anybody hit a foul ball in the booth yet this year?
Not yet.
No, that's a long way up here. We'll rely on Jack Williams to make the play, though.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Right here, one-handed.
The way things are going now, I wouldn't be able to catch a cold, let alone catch a baseball coming up.
I'll tell you what, I've seen Flash jump out of his seat. I mean, it could be a 5-hour game, and Flash is ready for those things up this way.
Again up and in. Big Poppy's on deck. And the 3-2. Strike 3. Pedroia down looking, and he is not in love with that call. And he gave Jerry Meals a look. Now talks to himself.
You can see him working back and forth. Fastball's up and in, and this is a changeup with a little bit of run back to the outside corner. Pedroia does not like it. We saw Jeter get rung up on the inside corner on a pitch he did not like. And you see the overhead cam. Ooh, very close. Looked like the front edge. Probably got it. That ball started off the plate and came back, but a pretty good combination of pitching. From fastballs up and in, he knocked him down once. Goes with a changeup away and freezes him away. And now they're going to see Big Poppy get an intentional walk.
And it shows you how much a lineup is interconnected and how much protection means. Because if this was Kevin Youkilis on deck rather than Jeff Bailey, I don't think that they would be walking David Ortiz right here. But Youkilis got hurt, and they brought Bailey in, so they will take their chances with Bailey.
Now, all you have to do is look at the batting average and tell you that Youkilis is leading the league, and you're not going to pitch to him.
That's the first time that Ortiz has been intentionally walked this year. And why would you with Youkilis up next? So makes sense. And now a guy hitting 154 is a guy you have to get out. Ellsbury is at third. Ortiz is at first. Teixeira plays behind Ortiz. And Bailey fouls off the first pitch.
Bailey, first baseman, outfielded by a trade. That's quite a bit of time in the minor leagues.
It'll be Savis's 58th pitch coming up, and really the first guy, as you said, Michael, that could really fill that role of long man that the Yankees have had all year.
Skied the other way, giving chase is Swisher. Runs out of room.
Well, they spent a lot of time at Pawtucket. Internationally, it's the Red Sox AAA ball club. That's a good hitting ballpark down in Pawtucket. I've never been there, but I heard that quite friendly.
Runner goes, and it's fouled back. So Ortiz was going on 0-2 because the Yankees aren't holding. Bailey looked down at DeMarlo Hale, the third base coach, going through the signs. Now he's back in the box. 0-2. Yankees trail 6-3, top of the 8th. And the pitch. Swung on and missed, so the strategy pays off as Bailey strikes out on the breaking ball. For the Red Sox, no runs a hit, 1 error, and 2 men left. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's 6-3 Sox. Drive of the game.
First pitch to the top half of the second inning was to Mike Lowell, and he liked it a lot. This is our Land Rover drive of the game, his 6th home run of the year. Got off the bus looking for a fastball and got it.
New pitcher for the Red Sox is Ramon Ramirez. So the Yankees have seen the last of John Lester, and they're happy about that. And Teixeira swings at the first pitch and drives it deep to right center field. Ellsbury back, track, wall, see ya! Back-to-back home runs for Mark Teixeira. Both solo shots, one from the right, one from the left. And the Yankees now trail 6-4.
Starting to heat up a bit. We told you he was getting close when we were in Detroit. We felt he was taking some good swings. He had a good swing earlier tonight and fouled out. But since then, he's had 2 more good ones. And both times, the pitch left the ballpark.
A little more aggressive, too. First pitch hacking, 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Not bad. Kind of middle away first pitch. Teixeira getting aggressive up there.
First pitch out of the bullpen. Boom. Gone. See ya.
22nd career multi-home run game.
It's kind of the balance we talked about before the game, Singy. You know, a guy with a high on-base percentage. He walks a lot. He walked 5 times in a game earlier this year.
Swisher trying to go back-to-back.
But still, you got to be a threat early in the count. First pitch fastballs, you got to be ready for them. We saw Mike Lowe do that earlier in the game as well.
That's the first run that Ramirez has allowed this year. We told you the Red Sox bullpen has been outstanding. 3rd best ERA in the American League. Oakland is first. Toronto is second, coming into action today. And Boston at 2.93, third. Two and two.
Ramirez runs it up there in the mid-90s, 93, 94. As you see Papelbon getting ready. He's also got what we call the power changeup, similar to Josh Beckett, where he can throw that hard power circle change in the upper 80s, 85 to 88 with the changeup.
Shattered bat and a ground ball to second. Pedroia. 1 out. Ramirez came over from the Kansas City Royals in the trade that sent Coco Crisp to KC, and the Sox wanted this guy. Actually, originally out of the Yankee system.
Crisp is doing a pretty good job for the Royals. The first place Kansas City Royals in the Central Division. They're turning back the clock.
Well, Matsui's on deck, and that's where Posada would be standing. So obviously something is up with Posada's hamstring, which he kind of grabbed when he slid into second base 2 innings ago. And I think everybody learned how valuable Posada is last year when the Yankees didn't have him, so they can ill afford to lose him for an extended period of time. So again, another reason to tune into the post game. I'm sure Kim will find out in the clubhouse exactly what the deal is with Posada.
You'd certainly like Cano to get on. Bring the tying run to the plate with Matsui in the on-deck circle here.
And there's Posada grabbing the left hamstring.
It looked like he was talking to Stevie Donahue in the dugout there, just to inform him.
Cano works a 4-pitch walk, so now that brings up Matsui as a tying run here in the bottom of the 8th. Looks like Francona wants him to stall, maybe get Okajima a couple more throws. Matsui brings a 12-game hitting streak into this at bat, and he's going to face his fellow countryman, Hideki Okajima. No, but he's going to call on Papelbon. Yeah. So he's going to ask Papelbon to get 5 outs. Interesting move by Terry Francona. So he calls on his closer with 1 out here in the 8th inning. Stick around. And all of that adds up to Red Sox 6, Yankees 4 as Papelbon, the closer, comes in with 1 out in the 8th inning to face the pinch hitter Hideki Matsui, who stands in as the tying run. You see what Papelbon's done this season. In 10 games, 10 in the 3rd inning, so he usually doesn't pitch more than 1 inning. 8 hits, 6 walks, and 10 strikeouts. Papelbon, career against the Yankees, 0-3 with a 4.07 with 7 saves. This year, 2 innings, 1 hit, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. So he's one of the dominant closers in baseball, but the Yankees seem like they occasionally do get to him. And Hideki Matsui has the highest average for any current player with at least 50 at-bats in late-inning pressure situations. And that's the 7th inning on, when the team is down by a maximum of 3 runs. Now, Papelbon this year has not gotten 5 outs in a game yet. So a little bit of a curious move, especially with Okajima ready to bring in Papelbon here, but that's what he's doing. As Ramon Ramirez, I'm sorry, is just a spectator.
See how important this game is for Terry Francona, the manager of the Sox. Only a 2-game set here at Yankee Stadium, wanting to get this first game.
Matsui 0 for 5 lifetime against Papelbon. Cano leads off first. Foul back, just missed that pitch.
This is what Michael's talking about. Up, out over the plate, belt high. See Matsui puts a good swing on it. We've seen him, Singy, getting closer and closer and more healthy with that back leg. He's really starting to drive now, swinging the bat with authority over the last several days.
1 swing to get loose and 2 to produce.
Tony Pena filling in for the ejected Joe Girardi. And the 1-1. There's a strike. Good pitch.
He dialed it up a notch here. You see Veritek reach back over. He wanted it away. Got it on the inside corner. Yeah, definitely added a little bit of velocity on that pitch.
Yeah, the only thing that saved him was the movement, because I think it appeared to Matsui to be inside. He missed the target. That's not nearly where you want to throw a pitch at this point in the game. You want to try to keep the ball away from him if you can.
Swung on and missed. He struck him out. Might have foul tipped the ball, and Veritek held on, so 2 away.
Papelbon is proud of that fastball, and rightly so. He's not afraid to use it anytime. There it is, up. Ball 1. Good swing. That was a pitch right there. That one was dialed up about 97 and right back. I mean, no fooling around. Right down the middle. As hard as he can throw it right now at this point.
There's Melky Cabrera 0 for 3. 7-game hitting streak on the line. Melky is the only current Yankee who actually has a home run lifetime off Papelbon.
You can see he really reaches back. Papelbon's got great extension and good life at the strike zone. Even though it doesn't seem like, you see a lot of movement on this pitch, this ball rides through the zone and jumps. Got good life on his 4-seam fastball.
Count 2-0. Yankees down by 2, 6-4, bottom of the 8th. 1 run in on the second home run of the night by Mark Teixeira. Two for 5 with that 1 home run against the Red Sox closer.
Situation here, if you're Melky Cabrera, you got to be sitting dead red. If you get something you can pull, anything on the inner half, you got to put a good swing on it.
Right down the middle, like he was taking in the count 2-1.
Papelbon's got a little bit of a move. It reminds me of Al Rabowski years ago. Maybe not quite to the extent, but when he gets set, he's looking, and then he peers in for the sign. Watch him take that little turn, his right there. Mike Fetters had that a little bit. Remember Mike Fetters? But Rabowski was the one to stand behind the man and just pound the ball in his glove, then come back on top of the hill.
2-1. Line drive, and past a lunging Pedroia into right field. Cano will go to third. Melky extends his hitting streak to 8 straight and keeps the inning alive for the Yankees.
We saw Melky let the 2-0 fastball go. He doesn't let this one go. Almost a little out in front of it.
Nice quick swing, though. Looked like the ball actually hit the glove of Pedroia. He got some leather on it, but not enough. Yep, slowed it down some, but couldn't glove it. Now here's a situation where the Yankees wish that maybe they had another pinch hitter, but they're going to have to go with Molina.
Even if they had a pinch hitter, they don't have another catcher.
That's true.
Molina 1 for 3, single to right in the 5th. A strikeout and a fly ball to left. Foul the other way. Well, even if they don't score here, and obviously that's their intent, they're getting pitches out of the arm of Papelbon, who has not had a 5-out save all this year. He still has to pitch the 9th inning. This is the bottom of the 8th. Long set, the 0-1. Upstairs. Along with Ken Singleton and David Cohn, I'm Michael Kay. You're watching Yankees baseball right here on the Yes Network. We thank you for spending part of your Monday evening, now Tuesday morning, with us. Long rain delay at the start of the game. The Yankees are trailing the Red Sox 6-4 here in the bottom of the 8th. Papelbon came on with 1 out. This will be his 11th pitch. Right off the fist and popped up. Nick Green is there, and that's going to do it. So Papelbon gets out of trouble. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We played 8 innings at a rainy, chilly Yankee Stadium. The Red Sox lead the Bombers 6-4 on Yes. Chivas 18-year-old. Live with chivalry. Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. And by Avis, the official rental car company of the New York Yankees. Well, we go to the ninth inning, and the Red Sox lead 6-4. Papelbon puts the warm-up jacket on as he will pitch the bottom of the ninth. And J.D. Drew fouls it back. Boy, that home run by Jason Bay looms very large right now. That's the difference in the ball game as the Red Sox lead 6-4. And Bay is on deck. Alfredo Aceves has done a nice job in relief. Came on to start the fifth, and he allowed that home run off the foul ball by Jason Bay. That's the only blemish so far on his night. A two-run shot. Phil Hughes struggled, allowed a run in each of the first 4 innings, threw a lot of pitches, and finally just threw too many, and Joe Girardi took him out for Aceves. Inside.
Yeah, outside of the home run to Jason Bay, who's on deck, Aceves has done the job out of the bullpen tonight. 6 strikeouts.
Shattered bat popped up. Molina runs out of room.
A C243. That's the same type of bat that Rod Carew used. That's why it's a C243. It's got a big barrel. Fairly medium handle.
And now it's broken, and it's gone from a C243 to a C in the fireplace.
That's why they sell them by the dozen. You know, some of the star players, Louisville Slugger used to, the initials on the back, MC44 was it Willie McCovey, 44.
Aceves so far has thrown 63 pitches, 43 strikes, so that's an excellent strike-to-ball ratio.
That's really been his MO. Last year when he came up, he's continued tonight.
You know, I wonder why they call it a C243. Rod Carew never hit 243 in his life.
Maybe 243 hits a year.
No, that could have been it too.
1-2. The 2-2. I guess that was 3-2 as J.D. Drew walks. Speaking of J.D. Drew, play the game brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes can save you 15% on car insurance.
And we just talked about it. The Geico play of the game. Jason Bay doing a little body English. One of the only blemishes on Alfredo Aceves' night. A big 2-run home run, as Michael said, is the difference in the game right now.
And J.D. Drew was on first then. He's on first now. And the pitch inside. You saw Edouard Ramirez warming for the Yankees in the bullpen.
You saw the home run that Bay hit off Mariano in Boston. We had a replay of that earlier. And the one he hit tonight, it looked like the very same pitch. Just a little out over the plate. Just a little lower than belt high. And he crushed both of them. There's some hitters that have their hot zone, their happy zones. Here's a home run against Mariano here in Boston. See what the pitch is? About belt high, middle of the plate. And a one tonight in the 7th inning. Bell tie, middle of the plate. That's the Jason Bay happy zone.
1-2. Could not hold up. Good breaking ball as Bay down on strikes. He's now 3 for 5. And that'll bring up Mike Lowell. Mike Lowell's success this season has to hearten the Yankees because he had the hip surgery that A-Rod is rehabbing from. And obviously he's fine. And he's fine on the field, which is your big worry with the lateral movement. He doesn't run that well, but he never did. And that's a concern with A-Rod because A-Rod did run well. And it looks like A-Rod could be back Friday or Saturday in Baltimore. Well, Alfredo Aceves' night is over. Tony Pena takes the ball from him, signals to the bullpen to bring on Edouard Ramirez. Ramirez against Lowell. Aceves gets a good hand. We'll be right back. Stay here. The Red Sox, and hear what the players have to say to Kim Jones in the clubhouse. It's the WB Mason postgame, and it's right here on Yes. So Edouard Ramirez with his dancing changeup faces Mike Lowell. Pitch is outside, so he did not go with the first pitch fastball. Two and 0. Ramirez, 12 hits and 9 walks. That's not good. 21 base runners in 10 innings. That's 2 runners an inning and 8 strikeouts.
Kind of been the story of the Yankees season so far. Obviously, Chen-Ming Wong had a lot of base runners in his first 3 starts. He's now rehabbing down in Tampa, but base runners, walks, overall, the Yankees have had their share of a lot of men on base.
Walks low on 4 pitches.
Seven walks for Yankee pitchers in this game.
Now that's 10 walks in 10 innings for Edouard Ramirez. There's Varitek. 0-1. Missed outside. The count 1-1. Grounded foul. If you've noticed that sign behind home plate, trumpeting the Bernie Williams concert, that's actually later tonight after the postgame show. There's a concert special on Yes. So after the postgame for game 2 of this series, you see Bernie Williams moving forward, the name of his newest CD. And Veritek swings and misses. And there are 2 away.
This is Ramirez's signature pitch. He's always had that real good changeup. You could see the fade and the great arm action on his changeup.
Not only the speed, but the movement too. So you can see the grip. Ball is fading away, and it makes it even more difficult to hit.
Talked about the Yankee base runners, the Yankee pitching staff and the base runners they've allowed this year coming into this game. They were last in the league in ERA. I think a lot of that was, as we said, Chien-Ming Wang really struggled in his 3 starts and sucked up a lot of earned runs. But, boy, 230 hits and 98 walks in only 215 innings. Those 328 base runners. 215 innings so far this year. A lot of base runners. Certainly added to that tonight. The Red Sox have 11 hits.
The 2-0. 2-1 to Nick Green.
It's almost as if he falls behind the count on purpose so he can throw a changeup when hitters are geared for the fastball. And think about the bottom of the 9th inning. You got 9-1-2 for the Yankees, and certainly you'd like to get the share up there with at least 1 man on.
Well, then Edouard has him right where he wants him now at 3-1.
But it's imperative to get out of this jam first.
There are some hardy fans that have still remained here at the ballpark. The 3-1, and he walks Green, and that loads the bases. So a walk by Aceves to Drew, and then walks to Lowe and Green by Ramirez, and now the dangerous Jacoby Ellsbury comes to the plate.
Just a dangerous formula. I just talked about the base runners that the Yankee pitching staff has allowed this year. As you see Jacoby Ellsbury's night right there. And that was the 8th walk, coupled with 11 hits for the Red Sox. Got 19 base runners here so far in this game. Just continues on for the Yankee pitching staff.
Yeah, I've mentioned this many times in the past. I'm sure the fans will remember, but it's not only the walks. Because what complicates the matter is that you have to regain the strike zone, and all of a sudden you're throwing pitches in the middle of the plate. And the walks come around to score eventually on the balls that are hit hard.
Well, he's not taking a chance. Big spot in the game. Yankees are already down by 2 with Papelbon on the mound, so he's going to call for Phil Koch to face Jacoby Ellsbury. He's seen enough of from Yankee Stadium on Saturday, May 16th with a longtime Yankee Stadium tradition, Cap Day. All fans in attendance when the Yankees play the Twins will receive a Yankees cap courtesy of Hess. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com. Visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window. Yankees clubhouse shops or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Phil Koch against Jacoby Ellsbury with the bases loaded. Lefty, the pitch. Outside 1-0. Entering tonight, the Yankee pen had pitched to a 6.69 ERA. And that's the second worst in the major leagues. And it allowed 121 base runners in 76 and 2/3 innings.
Look at it.
And the worst bullpen was the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. That one just missed Ellsbury. And now 3-0. Pena thought that was a strike, trying to buy it from Jerry Meals. Koch has done very well of late, 7 consecutive scoreless outings. 3-0. Right down the middle, 3-1. Foul back, now it's 3-2. Jonathan Papelbon spending a very long half inning on the bench, trying to stay warm on a very chilly night here in the Bronx. How will that manifest itself in the bottom of the ninth? The Yankees would like it to only be a 2-run deficit that he gets to hold, or a 2-run lead for them. The 3-2. Driven out to left field. Johnny Damon drifts back. He's there. Koch comes on and does the job. No runs, no hits, 3 walks, no errors, and the bases are left loaded. Last licks coming up for the Yankees, and they'll do it against Jonathan Papelbon.
Well, it is John Lester who really was sharp from the outset. Cutters in. See Johnny Damon getting tied up there. He really worked both sides of the plate. Had his fastball blazing up in the mid-90s. Had a career high of 10 strikeouts in 7 innings. John Lester, the Chevy player of the game.
Well, the Yankees go to the bench here to start out the bottom of the ninth. Brett Gardner is going to pinch it for Angel Baroa. Gardner 2 for 2 lifetime against Papelbon. Yankees obviously need a base runner. A bloop and a blast, they call it, and then the game would be tied. 6-4 Red Sox lead. Papelbon looking for a 5-out save on the pitch. There's a strike and a count 0-1.
Well, lately, Melky Cabrera's had the majority of the action in center field. Here's how you kind of work yourself back into the good graces. You start getting on base off the bench.
Well, he's quickly down in the count 0-2. The Yankees have had 8 comeback wins this year. And that's what they need right now. They're down 6-4, bottom of the ninth inning. A long, long night here at Yankee Stadium. Slap into the hole. Backhanded by Green. No chance. Once Gardner gets the shortstop to move to the right, you're not going to throw him out. He's too fast out of the lefty batter's box.
And what helps him out is the third baseman has to play pretty close guarding against the bunt, although he had 2 strikes on this particular instance. Kind of fights it off the end of the bat. Ball wasn't hit particularly hard. And you can see Green, well, the throw was just a courtesy throw because he wasn't going to get Brett Gardner. Not many guys can run that fast.
Yeah, he just gets up to full speed almost by the second step. Jacoby Ellsbury, the Boston center fielder, is very similar in that regard. But they get out of the box quickly, and they get to full speed in a hurry.
Here's Jeter. Derek 1 for 4.
Look out.
And it got him. So Jeter will take first, and now the Yankees have the tying runs on base here in the 9th inning. So let's manage a bit. You got Damon coming up, and we'll see Jeter as he gets clipped. There's a couple of things that Tony Pena can do. Do you bunt Johnny Damon and move the runners into scoring position, both, but then you'll lose to Shera and you'll pass the game on to Swisher, or do you just let Damon swing away?
My personal opinion would be to let Johnny Damon swing away. I mean, he's been swinging the bat well. He's got a home run here in the 5th inning, as you see, down and in. He's got the ability to drive the ball out of the park. I do not see taking the bat out of Johnny Damon's hands right here.
I don't either, because you'd be taking the bat out of 2 of your hitters' hands if they decide to walk to Shera, which they probably would.
Red Sox are playing for the bunt. Lowell in at third. Not bunting. And there's a strike. Damon against Papelbon. You can factor this into your decision-making process. 0 for 10 lifetime.
Well, the Red Sox, you see Lowell in on the grass, and Bailey at first just about even with the bag.
Fly ball right field. Didn't get it. Drew just draws the throw, does Gardner, and there's one away. And that's going to bring up Teixeira.
See, Veritek setting up away, and Papelbon gets it kind of belt high down the middle. Johnny Damon knows it. You see that look on his face right there. He had a pitch to drive and just could not get to it. Just a little under it.
Well, Mark Teixeira's had probably his best night as a Yankee. A home run from the right side. That came in the 5th inning. And then in the 8th inning, a home run from the left side.
One for the Red Sox bullpen and one for the Yankee bullpen.
First and second, 1 man out. Bottom of the 9th. Here's Teixeira. Papelbon deals. Inside. Teixeira has had 2 career 3 home run games. He's inching his average up to the Mendoza line. He gets his 3rd here. This would be his official Yankee coming out party. And the 1-0. He was trying for it. The count 1-1.
Yeah, the whole idea here is a home run would be nice, but you want to keep the line moving. If Papelbon makes pitches, that's not really a home run pitch. In fact, it might have been a ball a little bit out of the zone.
You could see, excuse me, saying you can see him go to the splitter. They're thinking the same thing. Varitek doesn't give him the fastball. Papelbon's thrown a lot of fastballs. Gets the 1-0 splitter there.
Last 3 home run game by Alex Rodriguez. All 3 against Bartolo Colon on April 26th of 05. He had 10 ribbies that day. Count 2-1. A walk moves the tying run to second. On deck is Nick Swisher. Along with David Cohn and Ken Singleton, I'm Michael Kay. It's 1 o'clock in the morning here in New York. Bottom of the 9th inning. Red Sox lead the Yankees 6-4. 2-hour and 20-minute rain delay at the start of the game. Two and two.
Well, the previous fastball was like a sinker. 2-seamer was 91. This one was a 4-seamer upstairs, and it was 95. High octane.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 1 out. One more, Tex, is what he's screaming. And the 2-2. He struck him out. And the Yankees are down to their final out here in the bottom of the 9th.
We'll go sequence and pitch by pitch. First fastball just missed. There's the 1-0 splitter. Another running type fastball off the plate. Up and out of the zone. Swing through. Down and in. See if Tex gets a good swing at it, but he's just late. Papelbon, so he's not afraid to challenge guys. He loves his fastball. You see Tex try to bring his hands in, but he just can't catch up to it.
So it comes down to Nick Swisher against Jonathan Papelbon. You've got Gardner at second. Derek Jeter is at first. And Swisher is the leading home run hitter on the Yankee team, but he has yet to hit one here at the new house. All of his home runs on the road. Trying for his first Bronx blast, and he swings and misses. Papelbon about to throw his 24th pitch of the night. And deals low. That's a splitter, and the count 1-1. If you just joined us, Tony Pena managing the team as Joe Girardi was thrown out, trying to save Derek Jeter from getting thrown out, arguing a strike 3 call at home plate. Terry Francona moving his defense.
It was Bailey at first. He moved him a step closer to the line. Guarding against a double down the line with Jeter off with a crack of the bat and 2 outs. He could score.
Also respect for Swisher's bat speed to think that he would pull Papelbon right down the line. It's called doubles defense. He's had 1 career walk-off home run for the White Sox last year against the Tigers. And the 1-1. Runners go. And a double steal, which is big, because now a base hit ties the score. Doesn't have to be an extra base hit.
Well, as with most closers in the game, you know, they're not worried about holding on runners. Papelbon's got a high leg kick. Yankees picked a good pitch to go on, a splitter down and away. Got Cano on deck. no real chance to pitch around Swisher here, even though first base is open.
The 2-1. Driven deep to right field, but it's a foul ball. Oh, a bit too quick.
One of the things about the short porch in Yankee Stadium is you still got to pitch left-handers inside. As you can see, Swisher's too quick and gets around it. Dugout jumps up, gets a peek, but the ball was pretty far foul. But although it had plenty of distance to get out of here.
Swisher, a .333 hitter this season with runners in scoring position. Beginning to rain again here at Yankee Stadium. That's how the day started. And now Varitek wants to talk things over with Papelbon. Let's set the scene right here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Yankees down by 2 in the bottom of the 9th inning. Brett Gardner's at third, and Derek Jeter is at short. Talking to his former teammate Nick Green. Papelbon having a conference there with Varitek. Now, are they going over what pitch to throw right here so there'll be no sign?
Well, that's possible, but you can see Papelbon shook Varitek off. Varitek wanted a fastball in and then went to the wiggle, which is generally a splitter sign. I don't think Varitek liked the way that sequence was going, especially with Derek Jeter on second base. You certainly want to get back into the sequence and disguise your signs a little bit.
And the 2-2. Counts full.
Tough pitch to lay off of. It was borderline out of the strike zone at 94 miles an hour. You know you have to be quick with Papelbon on the mound. As hard as he throws. Good plate discipline by Nick Swisher.
I've seen Papelbon loves to challenge guys in this situation, although Swisher has jerked him foul on a fastball. Be surprised if they do not go to the splitter here.
And the payoff. He walked him. So Papelbon now has loaded the bases on an infield single, a hit batter, and a walk. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and here is Robinson Cano.
Second baseman, number 24, Robinson Cano.
Cano is 0 for 3 with a walk. He's hitting 22 of the Yankees' 24 games. He has not hit tonight. Five for his last 22. Cano 3 for 9 lifetime against Papelbon. In all likelihood, a single ties the game. And the pitch. Foul back. Got a fastball, but fouled it back. 95 miles an hour. Brett Gardner is at third. Derek Jeter, the captain, at second, and Nick Swisher is over at first. A little bit later on today, these two teams will go at it again. Josh Beckett against Java Chamberlain. 7:07 start here at the stadium. The Yankees want to extend this night just a bit longer.
See, Varitek wants to go up the ladder.
And the 0-1. He does, and Cano does not bite. Matsui is on deck. Matsui actually was the first batter that Papelbon faced in the 8th and struck out. He was pinch hitting for Posada. Looked as if he hurt his hamstring a bit earlier in the game.
One of the big improvements for Robinson Cano this year, Singy, is he seems to get himself in hitters' counts. Last year we saw him over-aggressive early in the count, swinging at bad balls. This year, just the opposite. Very patient, still aggressive, but seems to find himself in good hitters' counts.
Papelbon has thrown 30 pitches. In all likelihood, he will not pitch in the second game of this series, but the Red Sox are worried about this one right now. And the 1-1. Yankees down to their final strike. It's 1-2.
See Veritek setting up away, and Papelbon just hits the glove right on the outside corner. And Papelbon, when his ball's up, it kind of rides up and away, and when it's down, it kind of runs away from the lefty. It's almost like his fastball does something different depending on what plane it comes in on.
So it comes down to this, a 1-2 pitch to Robinson Cano. Bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th, the pitch. He swings and misses, and a long night and day at Yankee Stadium is over as the Red Sox win this one 6-4.